What is going on, everybody? It is episode 350 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. This counts as a milestone episode, right?
Technically, yes. I would say that this counts as a milestone episode. I don't know if other shows count the fives. It's like people that celebrate 6-month anniversaries. There are people that do that.
Was it half birthdays?
Yeah. That's just weird to me.
Was that ever a thing, or
not to me? But that's not. It's not as bad as really, really self-absorbed people who celebrate birthday month. Like there's the people, birthday week is too much even. Like you get your day, that's it. Birthday month, you're just vapid and self-obsessed.
What if there are different friends who don't know each other, that you don't want to know each other, and you go to your birthday dinner?
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, but that's a week. But it's the people that celebrate it. Like it's a whole month to themselves. Like you don't get the whole month of June. You don't get the whole month of August. You can have your day. You might be able to celebrate a week as long as you do so privately and you don't post about it a lot. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I think. Okay, what are your opinions on Sweet 16s?
I mean,
is that even a thing in the real world? I didn't know anybody who.
Did you have a Sweet 16?
No, I didn't want to have people.
I didn't. I mean, I'm a guy. I don't think guys have Sweet 16s.
Well, no, maybe there was a whole show about it.
I don't.
There was a whole like MTV show about.
Was that guys though, or girls?
No, it was girls. It was like Bridezilla, but for turning 16. You know.
You would have been able to have it. I think if I had it, it would have been weird.
I don't know. 21 is more important than turning 16 these days.
Yes, for most people, and depending on where you live, there's like rules in place for like when you're allowed to start drinking, like on your birthday. So we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Thank you for that. Cleopatra, the show that we have already discussed, is getting Netflix sued by an Egyptian lawyer who's saying that they're forging history, and he wants the show and he wants Netflix banned in Egypt, which is crazy. So we're going to talk about that, guys. We are also going to... Where'd it go there? There we go. And then we are also going to talk about Emily Ratatouille, as you know her. It's actually Ratajkowski, but it's Ratatouille, right? She is promoting genderless feminism with a marketing campaign, and also we're going to talk about Rachel McAdams' very hairy ad campaign. Or no, it wasn't an ad campaign. It was just a magazine layout, right?
Well, it was Marc Jacobs that had the ad campaign
for Emily Ratajkowski.
That was called Genderless. Yeah, Rachel McAdams. Everyone had a lot of feelings about her having her armpit hair out on display in this new photo shoot, and they had her give advice to her preteen self, which is a little bit of a weird concept.
Don't a lot of people write letters to themselves as if they were dead? Like that was a thing in recovery that people would do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You write a letter.
I guess it's just weird if you are inviting millions of people to watch.
Yeah.
Your letter to yourself.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Sam Hyde's new reality show. Yes, that is a thing. Sam Hyde is getting a reality show. I don't have...
I think this is maybe going to be a divisive topic today.
Why do you think that?
A lot of people really, really like Sam Hyde, or they really, really dislike him.
Yeah. I have literally no opinion on Sam Hyde, so I'm neutral on this topic. I'm neutral. I'm far more opinionated on how many days of a birthday you get a year than I am about Sam Hyde.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
But the show is pretty crazy, guys.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into it.
We're also going to talk more about Jonathan Majors. The updates just keep coming. I was like, just get done editing the video yesterday, putting out a segment. And as
then everyone is commenting like, this is false information. Yeah. Why are you not updating the situation? Like,
I was like, bro, I just finished making this 2 hours ago, right? So
give us 24 hours to catch up.
We're going to talk about that. The updates just keep coming for that. We got a bunch of stuff to get into, Mary. So if you're ready, we can just get right into it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to get started. It's going to be a chill day today, guys. And before we get started, could you hit the like button on this video? You don't have to really like it. Just hit the like button anyway. I'm asking you to be underhanded and sneaky and just hit the like button no matter what. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Turn the notification bell on if you have not done that. That way you will be notified anytime a live stream starts or a segment goes up. Also, remember, if you would like to interrupt our discussion today, all Super Chats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion and start talking, like right now, from Shane Wilder. Mary.
Oh. Shane H. Wilder said, "You have to appreciate our benevolent PCC overlords. At least they want to know how we're doing, whilst we slave away at the pop culture mines." JK. Yeah. Also, 25 is the bigger birthday because they lower your insurance rates.
See, I thought it was at 26, you're no longer allowed on your parents' insurance.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a bad thing.
Why is that a bad thing?
Well, it means it costs more for you.
Yeah. All right. So yes, guys, in the chat.
Whoa.
Guys, I have asked, I put up a poll today because it's just us today. It's a much more intimate discussion here. I asked you guys, how you doing? You know, are you having a good day? Are you having a bad day? Or do you not even know? That's actually a common answer, I think. Like sometimes you get so stuck in your life, in your routine, that you don't actually know how you're doing, or you can't actually recognize or say, I don't know if I'm good or bad. So right now, 58%.
I wasn't sure.
You said you weren't sure?
I don't mean this to rag on you, but I like kind of thought it was funny that you capitalized all of the words.
I did. After yesterday with the Matt Walsh leaks.
The Matt Walsh leaker.
Yes.
Strangely enough, had the same exact habit.
Maybe it was me.
Capitalizing all of his words, and it's making me suspicious right now.
And Michael Knowles was here yesterday,
he
so
was.
maybe it was me. I don't know. I have no idea. All right, guys. So go ahead and answer that poll. We'll check in on it periodically throughout the day. I am glad to see, however, that 58% of you so far are saying yes, you are having a good day. Thank you for asking. All right, so we're going to get started. The first bit of news here, guys, for the start of the day is unfortunately bad news, Mary. I saw this right before we went live, or at least a little bit before we went live. White Men Can't Jump is coming out on May 19th. They've got an ad up for it on Twitter. Starring, is it Sinqua Walls? And, of course, the much disliked Jack Harlow, at least for me.
That's his name.
Imagining that you could somehow one-up both Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson in the same movie is laughable. You can't do that. It's not a thing. It's not possible. So,
are you going to watch it?
I'm going to watch it. I might get. I mean, if you want to watch it, you would have a different perspective than me because I have a more jaded perspective on this movie because obviously I've seen the original.
It's supposed to be a comedy in 2023, and we know that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So
well, people don't really laugh in 2023. It's not really an age to
you
laugh.
can't you can't make any jokes that have anything to do with racial differences now.
Nope.
So unless of course you're putting down white people in a mean-spirited way.
Yes. So we'll have to see where it goes. My hopes are extremely, extremely low.
Doesn't Jack Harlow remind you of Lil Dicky? And Young Gravy, all kind of run together at some point.
You could swap him and Young Gravy out and I wouldn't be able to tell. I would only be able to tell the difference because Young Gravy looks so much like somebody I actually know.
You know
that
what?
It sticks with me.
The Lil Dicky, Chris Brown, Freaky Friday music video was genuinely funny and able to make funny, lighthearted jokes about race. In 2019, I think.
It's a lost art, man. I mean, even 2019's late. Like, that's late if they were able to do it in 2019.
Yeah, 2019 is like past current year, but I don't know if you could do that past 2020.
I don't think so. We got a $20 one right there.
Gabby Hayes said, people laugh, they just usually get canceled for it. LOL.
I mean, it's more that just there's not as much funny stuff out there these days because, you know, I was reading that tweet recently that said, a society that can't laugh is a terrified society. And it's true. Like a society that's unable to actually laugh at themselves or others without fear of being called bad names or like being labeled for laughing.
Big Derp Energy said, Germany was having trouble. What a sad story. Needed a new leader to restore its former glory. Where was he? Where could that man be? We looked around and then we found the man for you and me, and now it's ...
I know that it's a certain day of the week of a certain day of the year, and frankly, I don't know what any of that means. We're moving on, shall we, Mary?
It's Weed Day.
It's National Weed Day.
It's WE''D
yes.
Day.
Yes. All right, guys. So if you remember yesterday, I mentioned that Netflix was closing out their DVD by mail service, which I couldn't believe was still a thing. It was making over $1 million a year, or it was
some people don't have great internet.
It was more than $1 million a year. I think it was like $1 million a month or something like that. Or no, it was $145 million a year. It was making. It had 1.1 million users still using DVD by mail service.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. So. This guy, the guy who owns Redbox, which is still around,
I thought it was a woman.
Bill Rohana.
Okay, never mind.
Apparently, like when you really think about it, where do you see red boxes? They do tend to be in areas
around here.
Yeah, in areas that have bad internet.
Where we have bad internet.
Yeah.
Facts.
So Bill Rohana, the CEO of Redbox and owner of Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment. I don't know if that's connected to the book Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Cute.
Yeah. He wants to buy it. He says, I'd like to buy it. He said of the Netflix business. He says, I wish they'd just do that rather than just getting rid of it.
Yeah, maybe he should get in talks with
He says there's a network of 32,000 Redbox kiosks.
Actually, this is only going to help Redbox.
Yeah.
You're just narrowing down the options.
Well, I mean, but if he's buying the company or like the branch of it, is he buying the name?
Yeah.
Or is he buying but he's also maybe buying the actual physical copies of that media? Like, that's a lot of inventory.
Yeah.
Judging by what they were saying.
I can't remember the last time I used a Redbox. I guess is the last time my parents used a Redbox in like, I don't know, 2010?
Dude, I never used one. I've never used a Redbox.
I think that my family was one of the first to adopt streaming instead of cable.
Yeah.
Just because it was cheaper.
I adopted the high seas at a very early age. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
You were born in it.
I was born in it, exactly. So, but no, I bought a lot of like box DVD, like season DVDs from like thrift stores.
Like,
and stuff
am
like
I allowed to say this? That we're gonna have a piracy culture crisis.
A PCC, if you will.
A PCC.
What makes you say that?
I mean, if people keep on getting pushed out of streaming services, they keep raising their prices, making it difficult to share with family members, and the quality of the content and the quantity of the content which you subscribe for keeps consistently dropping, then what will people do realistically? Yeah. They're probably going to start just illegally streaming.
Last night, I went on HBO Max. I looked for something to watch, and I just go blah, 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 and I settled on rewatching Torchwood. Just started Torchwood over again, which is actually really interesting, guys. I don't know if anybody here has watched Torchwood. I wasn't a big Doctor Who fan, but I did love Torchwood. And it's really interesting if you go back and rewatch it now on your TV, especially if you stream it on HBO Max, the frame rate is really, really high. Like it feels like it's shot in 60 frames a second. It's really weird.
With motion smoothing or whatever.
Yeah, it's really
I really
weird.
Kind of, in a way, like that look. You know when people geek out about like films that are actually shot on film,
yeah,
and that it's the only way to make great cinema anymore.
Wesley, I can hear Wesley agreeing from downstairs.
And people are like, Joker sucked because they tried to imitate that look, but digitally shot. But I kind of enjoy the soap opera-y, digitally shot, like motion smoothie look.
Like you can like
cheap.
When you see it, you can literally feel the heat of the lamp, of like the light behind them.
You can, and you can literally feel
the studio lighting.
Like the fever that you had when you were watching it.
I didn't watch soap opera.
At 5 a.m.
I watched The Price is Right, like everyone else my age. When I
just watched infomercials because I was too young to know how to change the channel.
How young is that?
Pretty young.
How young is that? So, guys, if you want to get a Redbox DVD, you will unfortunately not be able to get a Netflix version of it. You're going to have to stick with Redbox.
Okay.
So, it is what it is. Also, in the ever-expanding saga that is the Florida Man story, this is a story of Florida woman in which she looked to the sky thinking she saw aliens, and it was just Taylor Swift.
Or it was aliens and...
She controls them?
She controls them. No, I'm picturing Elon Musk up there or controlling a drone with a camera to look down her shirt or something from above the stadium.
Well, he has a thing for her.
but she has these light beams that shoot into the sky during one of her songs.
Let's see if we can watch the video.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
here
they
we go.
reflect off the clouds to look like a spaceship that's hovering around.
It does. It kind of does.
What the fuck?
Okay, you don't need to scream about it
Sorry,
around
man.
your
fucking
apartment
way.
complex.
Guys, sound language warning.
Holy shit! They're coming for you, Tony. No, they're coming. What the fuck?
I love the narcissism that they think if aliens
It's
were
about
coming
Tony.
down, that it's about you.
It's about Tony for sure.
Is that?
I mean, it looks like a car driving in the clouds. It looks like a Toyota Prius.
Explain that. Can somebody explain that shit?
Get the fuck.
Okay, she needs to learn to
You know, this is
soften
her
the language.
professional realtor
Yeah.
business profile. I am shocked at this language.
Your Tampa Bay realtor. Do you really want to buy a home from a potty mouth like that, Mary?
People said that it was just a UFO parallel parking at the concert.
Look, if anybody could summon aliens, it would probably be Taylor Swift.
Or one day,
Or Musk
they
just sent
just
the
beam her
mothership.
up for research purposes because they believe she is the Ubermensch,
Well, no, you want to know why? And I'm going to point out why.
the
She's-
Uberwomensch.
Here's the thing, guys. So, in a world where musicians do dozens and dozens of tour dates, and they have to kind of be studs, for a lack of better term. They have to be chads to be able to work that much. Taylor Swift goes through a breakup and is, what does she do? She adds songs. She adds tour dates like a boss.
Grind
And
set.
What the hell
That's
does
the
Shawn...
Sigma female grind set if I ever saw one.
And I point this out because I was looking at this thing about Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello getting back together at Coachella, and he's still
Just disgusting.
he's still on his mental health break, which he started in October.
Yeah.
Look.
And I went and checked his tour website.
We have
to
them
see
here.
if he added any more dates.
Canceled.
It just canceled.
Whole thing.
No updates, no communication.
Just I'm feeling sad. So like, look, when you call in sick from work, it is your responsibility to at least pretend to. You have to hide from your boss. Technically, you're not hiding from your boss.
well,
here.
Shawn Mendes is Shawn Mendes' boss.
You're ruining my
I get your point.
comparison here. Like you're supposed to fake it. He should be going. Sorry, guys, I can't
he
do
just
the
needs
concert
to
today.
get vaccinated. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Is
but,
that why? Is that what's going on?
Ah.
Look, I think Taylor Swift is probably the hardest working person in Hollywood right now. Her and Elon Musk.
Kind of psychotic.
Her and Elon Musk would have extremely hardworking children if they were to do that.
Yeah, they would. She's almost scarily efficient.
It says it literally lights up a stadium. So it was from a concert where you can see it. It says they posted this video and then this one. It says some fans who were at the concerts posted their own. So here's where you see the actual things going up in the air. The other thing it proves is that the stereotypical end of the road villain arc at the end of every superhero movie, which always ends up being a sky beam, isn't really going to be helpful. Sky beams don't do anything. All they do is scare people in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Yeah.
They're not actually doing anything.
Are you implying that Taylor Swift is
She could be a villain.
a villain?
Sending a sky beam into the sky so that she can
Summon her fans.
There was a really bad show on the CW called Star-Crossed, which had a sky beam at the end of the show before it got canceled. And what it was, the sky beam, which everyone thought was a bomb, ended up being a signal to other ships, other warships from their alien clan, so that they could let them know where they were because they crash landed on Earth. Maybe she's sending a sky beam into the sky so that she can let the mothership know, this is where I am. You've made me sit here and work for 30 plus years to these lowly humans. Come and get me. I'm ready to come home now.
You would have done great on IRL last night.
Why?
It was just all like,
Aliens?
what if aliens like built the pyramids?
So the guy from Ancient Aliens.
But like, what
Could
if
we get that guy
what
in
if
here?
the pyramids go to the center of the earth?
And what's down there? Chocolate? She, her chocolate from Daily Wire?
I don't know. Everything that Ian said, I really tried to understand, and it's hard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, she it's right at the center is she, her chocolate.
It's got to be in the molten core of the earth.
and there's a copy of Michael Knowles' book down there, and the address of the hacker who hacked Matt Walsh's.
The hacker known as 4chan.
Oh no, the guy who hacked Matt Walsh could have a secret layer at the bottom, in the center of the earth.
Don't people think it's some journalist?
Yeah, Tim made a video about it today about some guy from.
Looked weird. He has red hair. Male gingers definitely have a bad track record for political radicalism.
Redheads?
Yeah.
Why?
Specifically redheaded males, because they're ostracized from the rest of society.
Is there a reason for that?
Because they're redheaded.
Because but I'm saying, but they're ostracized for that reason. But so that like makes them go and seek power through politics.
Not power. They just they're like way more likely to get like, initiated into ISIS.
Has there ever been a redheaded president? Chat, I need to know. Has there been a redheaded president?
I only know that the last bald president we had was from like before TV was invented.
Well, you got to have hair.
Who was it? I think that people have a strong aversion to bald politicians.
Nobody's answering my questions. I don't think there has been I don't think there's been a redheaded president. I'm not sure.
Guys, let us know.
Let us know. All right. So thank you, Taylor Swift. You have sent your signal to the overlords. They will get you back anytime soon. All right, Andrew Tate.
Yes.
Andrew Tate.
He recently recreated the video that he sent to Greta Thunberg that we all joked got him arrested by the Romanian police, but actually didn't by doxing his pizza chain that he was nearby. But he recreated it post jail time with his beard and everything. Do you want to show us
I've got the
here?
video here.
He still has Jerry's pizza stacked in front of him. I guess so. I don't know. I don't think it's a look. But anyway, this came with a lot of accusations that he is not following the proper laws as a Muslim, because one of the boxes said double pepperoni, which implies he's still eating pork. So I guess there was this whole argument thread that Tristan Tate got into about it, where he clarified that there was no pepperoni on the pizza. It might have just said that on the box for some reason.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. We can't possibly know. And then someone tweeted, I'm not scared to say what other Muslims really want to say. If the man wants to eat pepperoni pizza, irrespective of whether it's Ramadan or not, allow him. A new Muslim previously living the most haram of lifestyles on earth. It's a process. This man has brought more people to Islam than any of us ever will, and he will be greatly rewarded for that in the hereafter.
Okay, so they're saying that basically give him a break because, your religious transformation is a process. It's not like you start one day and then you're suddenly there the next day.
I guess.
One day at a time.
I don't know how many people have converted to Islam because of Andrew Tate. I feel like that might be a disingenuous conversion.
What is the conversion rate?
And, if they did genuinely convert to Islam because of Andrew Tate, then those are souls lost, and we pray that they leave that backwards religion. But anyway, he clarified there was no pork. Again, he said, I don't eat pork anymore. I avoided it even in jail where 80% of the meat was pork, went without protein. My pizza had tomatoes on it, not pork of any kind, and I only ate one slice for the video. Let them hate. Let them. We remain invincible.
He is a showman, my friend. He is a showman.
But only through the tweets? Why isn't he speaking in the video?
That's a very good question. Do you think he should keep the hair, or do you think he should get rid of the hair?
The hair is not looking good.
I think you should keep it.
Looks very out of place.
Just to be defiant.
I mean, that's up to him.
He could also do the Elon Musk thing, like where your hair just grows back. Like you just have so much money, your hair grows back. Have you ever seen that meme? Shows a picture of Elon Musk before and after, and he's like half bald.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, and it's like he just
it just
one
naturally
day
came back.
the hair was like, look at the size
Why
of his bank
doesn't Jeff
account.
Bezos do that? Is it just too late for him?
Maybe he just likes the look. I mean, he looks better with the shaved head, I think, because he's so he's kind of skinny, right?
I guess.
It kind of helps.
Why is it that sometimes people who are bald just look like they should be bald?
Well, then they should. Stone Cold Steve Austin with hair is a horrible, horrible sight to see. You do not want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin with hair or Stone Cold Steve Austin with without his mustache. It's just creepy looking. Or his goatee. He had a goatee. All right, guys. So Andrew Tate. Also, if you remember recently, we talked about Gideon getting arrested.
Yes.
Well, he has posted his mugshot. I love it. I'm sorry. I love it.
Pure joy.
He looks so happy.
Impeccable vibes.
He looks so happy here. I got to fix my shot.
I just think this is the face of somebody who does not understand the consequences of his
legal system.
actions of our punitive system. But that's okay. You know?
There we go. All right. I was just fixing my camera shot there. All right. I mean, but it's also, he's like, this is going to make great content.
I mean, it does.
It absolutely does.
After he's out of jail, he makes the video like, my experience getting arrested and in jail.
All right. And I do want to talk about this for a little bit here, guys. Jonathan Majors is back in the news again. Yesterday, they were talking to us about this. People got mad when they saw the video that posted from yesterday's episode today because they didn't realize that we hadn't got around to the update yet. More alleged victims have come forward and are working with the New York District Attorney. There are no names given on who these women were, so I'm not sure. We may be able to figure out who they are.
Is he about to get Me Too'd?
Again, right? So it says they're cooperating with the DA's office. And this is like one of those things where it feels like he has the worst lawyer. It really does feel like his lawyer doesn't know what he's doing. The more I see it, the more I see of it. If you really look at the story here, I'm going to pull it up from TMZ. First of all, I saw a video earlier that pointed this out. The scoop that goes for the abuse victims coming forward goes to Variety.
Yes.
Which is like I guess what you would call like a credible news site. But then the leaks that come forward that supposedly prove his innocence, even though they don't really do that, go to TMZ.
Right.
I guess the idea would be that TMZ more people will see TMZ than will see Variety.
Maybe. I don't know. Variety isn't really the type of website that posts, leaked tip videos. You know?
So it says Jonathan Majors video, witness proves I didn't strike my ex-girlfriend. She went clubbing after. Okay.
They also showed video of her using her right hand, which she claimed had a broken finger on it after the incident.
That means literally nothing. You can pick up a glass without. You can pick up a glass with a broken finger.
Why was she
out
clubbing afterwards, though?
No idea.
Is kind of bizarre.
I mean, the human mind isn't so linear that you think I just had a traumatic incident. I'm going to go to my bedroom and ruminate on said incident, drink a glass of wine, and go to bed. That's not how people work.
Yeah, I know.
That's not a thing.
It doesn't seem like either of these people live a particularly healthy lifestyle.
No, not at all.
Anyway.
And so they leak this footage and say that it says she suffered a broken finger and a laceration behind her ear during the altercation. However, Chaudhry, that's Priya Chaudhry is his lawyer, said that they have proof that is a complete lie. She says they have hours of security footage showing the woman that went clubbing, got drunk after Majors left her in the car. Well, when you've had an emotional experience, going out and getting drunk is actually a perfectly normal thing for people to do after they've had an emotional experience.
I guess.
I would argue that that's probably more normal than what? Going home and just sitting around?
Okay, it looks like she was like right up front by the DJ in this club.
Yeah. And it says, the other question I want to know is that they said that they have the video from the taxi cab that proves his innocence. Why isn't that what you're leaking? Why are you leaking useless footage?
The lawyer is like, we have irrefutable proof. You might have irrefutable proof that no abuse was perpetrated inside the taxi cab, but if the woman alleges anything else happened outside of that incident, you have more problems to deal with. And now you have multiple accusers.
Exactly.
You don't, you can't possibly have irrefutable evidence against all of them.
Do you think it's possible that the reason why it seemed like it was blown out of proportion is that the people that have pulled out just had early access to this information and knew this was coming before we did?
Well, we said it was overblown because there have been literally countless men in Hollywood that have been Me Too'd with varying degrees of validity to the allegations leveled against them.
Yep.
And it's really interesting to watch the media's stink bug. The media's reaction to each one of those incidents.
Yeah.
And how hard they go after somebody in a depersoning campaign.
I watched a video earlier where like Zach from Comics Matter does this video where he's talking about this situation. I'm like, why is he talk? It's not the type of thing he would normally talk about. And what he was doing was critiquing this guy who made this video where he said like he joyfully talks about how they can use this situation to get rid of Kang and bring in Doctor Doom instead. And it's playing the Avengers like hero music in the background. And the guy is just, his eyes are glistening with happiness over the fact that they could possibly bring in Doctor Doom because a bunch of women got assaulted by this guy.
It's kind of a little bit bankrupt.
Well, yeah, it shows kind of how far we've detached ourselves from the culture.
You know, another disgusting take that I've seen flying around about Jonathan Majors' situation is not only that people say only black men get Me Too'd, which is not the case at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, when I think of one example, it's R. Kelly, and he was convicted.
Yeah.
So
he might be the most famous example outside of Harvey Weinstein.
Or Bill Cosby, also convicted.
Yeah.
But I also see people saying, you know, he deserved all of this backlash and to ruin his career because he was dating white women.
What?
Yeah.
Who said like
they were like, oh, you mess with white women and then you're gonna find out how they treat us.
People are so
or whatever. Like, why does
freaking
everything
weird.
have to be filtered through
Race.
a narrative of racial animus instead of just like an incident between two individuals?
The other thing that says is they said they have this is my other take on the lawyer. This is the other thing that I read was they said that they've got the irrefutable proof that she hit him or that she scratched him and hit him.
To steal the phone.
And tried to steal the phone, so he got scratched. Why didn't they post pictures? They should have immediately taken pictures of him covered in scratches. And
maybe there weren't
those.
any marks.
That's what I'm saying. But if you did they not do their job? If it was such a serious incident that she ended up getting hurt, you'd think he would at least have some type of scratch mark on him, even if it's small.
Yeah, maybe, but you never know.
It's also his lawyer's husband is his new PR crisis rep, which just feels like he's like it's like a.
Can he not find anybody to help him out?
Yeah,
what's going
like
on?
you'd think that. Do you think that Marvel will end up getting rid of this guy, or do you think that they'll end up sticking?
They
with
haven't
him?
even hinted at thinking about it.
I think what this is not meant to be crass or rude, but the luck they have is the amount of time between these productions, meaning that like
by the time the next
Kang Dynasty doesn't come out till 2025. So they've got time for this to
get memory hold.
To theoretically die down. His court date is coming up on May 8th, I believe it said. So he will be back in court to deal with this very soon. It says Majors. Oh, I'm going to read the source and just give you a breakdown of what they said from the district attorney's office. They said the prospect of more women coming forward and waiting in the wings would mark a dramatic turn in the case. And I think for this situation, it's only going to get worse as it goes on because I don't see how it gets pulled down from now. Like now it's becoming a thing. Like it's kind of actually, you know what? I'm gonna rephrase that. When we covered Ezra Miller, I was like, why is nobody talking about this? And this feels like everyone's like more people are talking about this than talked about Ezra Miller. And there was objectively more proof of his bad behavior than there is of Jonathan Majors.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
There's objectively more proof of what Ezra Miller did, i.e. a video of him actually chokeslamming a woman at a bar.
Well, there's that one, but all of the other stuff is about corroborating.
But also the
witnesses.
chair throwing incident. There was a video of the chair throwing incident.
That wasn't published, but yeah. I assume that was from the bar.
So there's more evidence of that than there is of what's going on here. And Marvel just has to wait on the sidelines and hope that it blows over?
I think that it's going to be the same strategy from both. Just ignore and then shoot the focus over to somebody else.
Yeah. They said the Majors got home at 11:13 a.m. and found her unconscious and naked on the floor of his walk-in closet. He also discovered she allegedly threw up in his bed and told him she'd taken a few sleeping tablets. He called 911 and claimed the paramedics arrived, and the woman repeatedly told them, "I don't know," when they asked what happened to her. Look, I've taken my share of Ambien in my lifetime, and you can absolutely wake up and have no clue what the hell happened to you. That's a real thing.
How does she recall now what happened in the taxi cab?
Well, remember, she's recanted her statement, right? Like, she's already said, like, actually.
Well, in that case, her recanting her statement has a replacement of the news story.
Exactly, the news story.
So if she can't remember, where is the news story coming from?
This
coming
is
from Jonathan Majors.
And that's not even the biggest part of the story. At the end, it says the document, Chaudhry, that's his lawyer, also claims that they have claims body cam footage shows police interviewing the woman and clearly coaching her on to say that Majors grabbed her by the throat. So that, like, release that footage then it gets thrown out, but it won't matter
it's
because
giving
the
Evan
new
Rachel Wood
vibes.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I've caught up on the language of Gen Z. I haven't caught up on the language of Gen Z to not add the vibes part at the end of it's giving.
Vibes.
I always add the vibes part. Look, if that's true, it doesn't matter. As stupid as it is, and of course that makes those cops corrupt AF.
I mean, yeah.
It doesn't matter because now the new claims have come forward, and that will be what they lean on if they're not even using this to prosecute anyway. Remember, the DA's gone forward even with her recanting her statement.
Yeah.
So it's all a mess, and it's going to keep going on.
The story of her, like, making cheating accusations, threatening sewer slide, it's like a dispute that I don't think the public should be
privy to.
Yeah, privy to.
Like, we're just kind of like really
And honestly, like, the police should kind of stay out of it too. It seems like they were both just being a toxic mess.
Like, it's like a weird, morbid, like, looking from the inside.
Like toxic relationships exist where one person isn't abusing the other person. They're both abusing each other and themselves, and we can't legally adjudicate on that.
It's also just funny, like the broken finger I have no idea why his lawyer is pointing out the finger thing like it's some big W. Like I said, I mentioned this the other day. I've broken all my fingers and still had to go to work and pick things up. I mean,
even that. How do we prove that the broken finger was from that altercation and not from while she was out clubbing later,
or passed out drunk on sleeping pills,
passed out in the closet?
Yeah,
she fell.
Yeah, that's happening. Like, I'll tell you a story, and this is going to be okay. There was a time back in my bad old days where I literally like fell and clipped the corner of like on the shirt there. Stink bug right there. Got it.
What?
Looks like you got it. Okay. I slipped and cut the corner of a bathroom sink and cut my forehead. Like, you do messed up crap when you're screwed up, and there would have to be damning evidence that proves that he did this for that to be the cause.
Yeah.
I think the bigger case here is what happens with these other women that have come forward. But if there's no evidence of this, the most recent example, there's likely not going to be any corroborating evidence of those, right? Like, unless they have videos of it happening. It's just going to be he said, she said again.
This also reminds me of the Shia LaBeouf FKA Twigs case, which is, I just remembered, about to start, at least from the last reported date, in 3 days. Do
you think that the media will end up trying to make that one as big as they made Johnny Depp, Amber Heard?
I wonder.
I feel like we'd be hearing more about it already.
Her allegations just don't seem as extreme as the ones about Johnny Depp.
No.
Because the sexual battery part was about knowingly giving her an STD.
Well, if you're in
the rest of it, it just sounds like you're a traumatized, mentally ill former child star who is incapable of having a functional relationship.
That might not even be a crime.
That's not a crime. It's just kind of wrong.
No, I'm saying the part about, didn't California decriminalize knowingly giving someone AIDS? Like, or they made it a misdemeanor and not a felony.
Yeah, they made it,
and
that's insane.
Yeah. It's California.
That's crazy.
So if
Stay safe out there.
if as California goes, so goes the world. Go somewhere else because you don't want to be in California. It's bad. All right, guys.
Don't hook up with strangers.
Yeah, there you go. It's very good. We've got some cringe of the day, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some cringe of the day, and then we've also got cute of the day. People have been sending in their pictures that has made me very, very happy. Mary, would you like to start with cringe of the day, or would you rather start with cute of the day?
I think.
Oh, it's not cringe. It's we don't know what it is.
Let's go with cringe.
Okay. All right.
But it's not exactly cringe. It's just kind of weird.
You don't know. You don't know how to label it.
Yeah,
and I haven't.
But I support her.
I haven't seen this yet, so.
Do you prefer a nice guy or an asshole?
An ancient man.
Is that what?
An ancient man.
What?
Just
An ancient man? What do you mean by that?
let her
Like
cook.
1800s? Don't you want to go away with me? It'll be like humans never existed. Or technology.
I'll take whatever she's on.
She ran.
I will take a little bit of whatever she's having.
She ran back to the time machine.
She's literally just a time traveler from the 1800s. Maybe that's the actual Cleopatra right there. We're gonna be talking about that later. Maybe that's the actual Cleopatra.
Also, it's funny that she said ancient, but then she was like 1800s.
Is that not ancient enough?
I don't think so.
Wait, guys in the chat, what is ancient? Is 1800s not ancient?
Was that her version of a pickup line?
She's like, hey, want to be ancient with me?
I don't know, but I support her.
Whatever that is.
Whatever was going on there.
Prefer a nice guy or an asshole?
An ancient man.
And why is she covered like?
Why is she whispering?
Who is she preventing from hearing this?
It's in a microphone.
Like, she like, is her boyfriend that's not ancient next to her, and she doesn't want him to hear it?
Is that what?
An ancient man.
I like the guy in the back too.
Well, why is he looking so menacing?
No, like you got look at him come in. He swoops in.
What?
Is that what?
An ancient man.
An ancient man? What do you mean by that?
Like 1800s? Don't you want to go away with me?
Girl, I will go away with you.
Everything about that video, you just notice something new
Look at the face he's making now.
every time you watch.
Look at this.
Ew.
It'll be like humans never existed. Or technology.
Oh, you flipped this off. That's not very nice. Oh, now
Wow.
she's back to the time. Maybe she's on the same spaceship that Taylor Swift is on.
Yeah, maybe.
That's very possible. All right, guys. I do have multiple cutes of the day, and we have one that you sent as well that is adorable. It's not just one
Yeah,
from
I
from
found
you
this
guys, but here we go. Let's watch this first. It is adorable.
Isn't he cute?
I gotta mute it. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Yeah. He's charging into battle.
He is. What does it say here? It says, "Charge forth into the fray."
Yes.
There's war, and he is going forth on the battlefield. That was
I love
adorable.
that for him.
Also, guys, thank you so much, everyone who has been sending in cute of the day. What you want to do if you want to get your pets on the show, you tag me or Mary or Pop Culture Crisis on Twitter. Me, I'm the one, I curate all of these. So if you want to tag me on Twitter at Brett Dasovic and put hashtag PCC Pets on there, and that will help us. Hold on, I'm fixing this here. Is the stream okay?
Are we good?
Are we good there, guys? Open widgets. Just double checking here. Making sure the internet isn't a problem here. It's saying our stream status is poor. Hold on, check the chat.
I mean, it looks fine to me, and the chat's
fine.
still going.
Okay, I'm gonna double check here, but I lost the
I think we're good.
I lost the super chats though. That's a problem.
I didn't.
You still got them there? Oh, they're back here. All right.
I think we're good.
Okay, they're saying there's minor skips. I'm gonna send a message here to. I'm not even gonna worry about it, but I'm gonna have to send a message to.
They're all saying stream's good.
Stream's good.
Froze for a while, but you're back.
Okay.
All good.
All right. Well, we'll stick with it then.
Okay. Looks good.
I'm gonna open the widget. Refresh. Okay.
No problems. Stream
Okay.
is fine.
All right. Here we go. We're going to keep going. All right, guys. So we have got Q today. So again, send in your pets to @PCC or hashtag PCC pets and tag me in it @Brett Dasovic. You can get us there. Our first here, it's adorable. It's Loki from King Monkey. Says hashtag PCC pets. That is an adorable little kitten right there.
I like the shape of its ears.
What do you like about it? Oh my god, they're not very like
flopped.
They're rounded and they're rounder.
Flopped.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, just popping up the chat here. I'm streaming on my. Somebody says they're streaming on their Nintendo DS.
They are.
but who is streaming on their Wii? That's the real question. Like, remember we have the guy who streams on their Wii.
Literally one person.
All right. We're moving on. And by the way, thank you, King Monkey, for sending that in. Loki is adorable. All right. From William Sims says hashtag PCC pets. Brett and Mary Archive. This is Lucky after a party.
I like this one. It's kind of like a selfie angle. Cute.
That is adorable.
Why do cats just love the freaking boxes?
They do. Cats love boxes. And we have a very special one here from Halls and the Kid.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Hashtag.
Who has like a trillion dogs?
Yes. She sends this. This is Cat is Snowball and the Boston Terrier is Abby and the little guy is Scout.
I like Snowball.
That is adorable. And Regal.
Yes. That's my favorite kind of cat.
And look at him down there.
He's like worshiping.
Find yourself a guy that looks at you the way he looks at that cat right there. That's what you want.
The way he looks at Snowball.
Yep. Oh, that is very
Jessica.
adorable. Thank you, Jessica. All right, we will save the rest. Keep sending those. We'll do one more. We'll do one more here, guys. That way I can get through some of these. I always worry, like, I don't want to miss anyone. If you're sending them on Instagram, I have a harder time keeping track of them. So it is better to send them on Twitter. All right, this is from Summer on Twitter. Says, here's Phoenix. She loves to play. See? Not a cat, but a bag. That is adorable.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. All right. Yeah, send them on Twitter, guys. It's very hard for me to keep track of them on Instagram. All right, we're moving on. Thank you guys for all that. Remember, hashtag PCC Pets on Twitter. All right, we're going to get started. So Cleopatra is back in the news. It was just like a week ago that we talked about this, maybe even less. Jada Pinkett Smith is producing a documentary called Queen Cleopatra on Netflix, and it is under heavy scrutiny from a lawyer in Egypt who says that it's forging Egyptian history.
Yeah, this goes against their media laws in Egypt, supposedly, which I'm not familiar with.
Yeah.
The guy's name is Mahmoud Al-Samari.
Yes.
I believe. And he has a legal complaint that referred to the series as a forgery and attacked Netflix for the crime of misleading viewers. He says most of what the Netflix platform displays does not conform to Islamic and societal values and principles, especially Egyptian ones. That just sounds like an indictment of Netflix as a whole, which I guess is true.
Yeah.
But does it have to do with Cleopatra specifically? I don't think so.
I'm just sending a message to Andrew.
It also read, in order to preserve the Egyptian national and cultural identity among Egyptians all over the world and take pride in it, consolidate the spirit of belonging to the homeland, and accordingly, we ask and seek you to take the necessary legal measures against this platform.
What do you think that would even be? I also, like, what I thought was funniest about this, this is how my brain works. I'm sorry. My brain is horrible. It says he officially filed a lawsuit against Netflix's documentary Queen Cleopatra. I'm like, how do you sue a documentary? Don't you sue a person?
I mean, maybe he's trying to get it banned specifically in Egypt.
Yeah.
Not for the globe.
Yeah.
But he said that the series is falsifying facts and that Netflix is trying to stir up confusion to spread false information that the origin of Egyptian civilization is black. Cleopatra was Greek, meaning that she was blonde, not black. The assertion about her hair color being blonde is kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Because likely she was a Mediterranean person, meaning she could have had light skin but dark hair.
It's really funny too, because I wonder about this. So as Americans, we tend to export our entertainment and we import ideas from other cultures a lot of times. We'll take Thank you. I didn't even realize we hit it. Thank you guys. I love that sound effect. for 3 minutes. I'm gonna watch Spider-Man tonight just so I can rewatch the series. We export a lot of entertainment and we import a lot of ideas about, for things where we then, like, I love the show The Killing, which is based off a Danish drama, but we didn't just import their version of it. We made our own substandard version of it. At least all the film nerds tell me our version is the substandard version of it. Imagine watching a documentary on American history made by the BBC, I guess, or some other country, would Egypt make a version of a President Lincoln documentary where President Lincoln is Egyptian?
I'm confused at this because Jada Pinkett Smith seems to think that this is deeply important for Black Americans to view, when they really have zero connection to the culture that it's teaching about falsely. Jada said, "We don't often get to see or hear stories about Black queens, and that was really important for me, as well as for my daughter, and just for my community to be able to know these stories, because there are tons of them."
Well, then why not?
Even if there are, it's like Cleopatra is just not on the list.
Yeah, why
would she get the #1 spot?
And what's scary about this is it really does prove the power of these companies now, that when all your media is coming through streaming, when all your news is coming through digitally, they really do have the ability to rewrite and obfuscate history by changing things that have a little bit of fluidity. So we know who her dad is. We don't know who her mom is. And all I could think of, right? Am I right about that?
I mean, I think that what some historians have said is her dad is Ptolemy the 12th. The 12th.
Yes.
But they're claiming that the ethnic origin of her mother has been up for debate, and it's not certain. But given the fact that she's in the Ptolemy bloodline, it's highly likely that she was inbred, meaning her mother was almost too closely related to her dad, making them of the same exact ethnic origin, Greek-speaking Greeks.
But what scares me is the lack of clarity around an issue like this is exactly where activist-minded, evil people get involved, because the lack of clarity breeds opportunity for them to manipulate things.
That's where they rush in to make Hollywood dramatized versions of reality. And then people really believe that that's the truth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I wish that there were... I wish we could get into the minds of these people who desperately need validation so badly that they want to rewrite history to get it. Now we have a response from the actress that they cast.
Yeah, I saw
Queen
that.
Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Her name's Adele James. She tweeted, FYI, this kind of behavior won't be tolerated on my account. You will be blocked without hesitation. If you don't like the casting, don't watch the show. Or do and engage in expert opinion different to yours. Either way, I'm gassed and will continue to be.
I'm going to be fair. I don't know what else they expect her to say. It's not like she's going to be
I would have said nothing.
Exactly. Like, you either say nothing or you say, hey guys, we totally made it up, and that's fine. Like, she was never going to say that.
Look, it's just like with the Moses Ingram thing when she was playing Reva and everyone just blew up this story about how she was getting attacked by racist fans.
Yeah.
You can put a spotlight on 2 to 3 individual people online that are giving you shit, and then it makes it out like that is the whole of the criticism you're receiving, but that's just disingenuous. It's not the actress's place to even respond. She's not the one that wrote this material.
No, she's just doing a job.
Yeah, she was just doing a job, but it seems like she's now ideologically aligned with the project. I'm
sure she would have to be, right? Like, they're not going to hire, I'm sure somebody who wouldn't want to be involved.
Sure, but I just don't respect the ideological line that they're pushing, which is that African-American women, Jada Pinkett Smith and Willow Smith specifically.
The actress is British, I think. That's another thing people point out. They said, why is she speaking with a British accent?
Oh,
in the
yeah,
trailer.
well, that's kind of what they do for a lot of films
Yeah.
that are about
to be
foreign
fair, I loved I love the show Marco Polo, and they're speaking English in that.
American English?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not like, but like they have like, they're speaking English, but not with not with American syntax.
Okay. Look at Will Smith on Emancipation.
Yeah.
And then Jada Pinkett Smith producing Queen Cleopatra. These two people clearly, having lived lives of extreme comfort and privilege, are searching desperately for a narrative of victimhood.
Viola Davis with The Woman King portraying a tribe that did have slaves as if they did not.
You're going to need to rewrite history altogether to valorize people who did both right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's like morally complicated like everything else. But Will Smith and Jada Smith particularly are despicable people because they're preying on the insecurities of people who are desperate for representation from Hollywood.
And that
the insecurities are things that need to be addressed in and of themselves.
Yeah.
And the solution is never going to be seeing yourself on screen. It's going to be something you deal with within yourself.
Does your brain work that way? Well, like I think about it when I watch movies and television, I get so wrapped up in the weird eccentricities that a character projects that I don't ever think about how that relates to me. Like, it's just not the way my brain works. Like, I don't watch here's an example. People make fun of like Tom Cruise is short. I don't look at Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible and think he's short. I think this is a character who's got particular traits. I watch John Wick. He's stoic. I'm not stoic. I still like the character.
Do you find it aspirational though?
No, I don't really think of entertainment in that context. I find more of a hope for aspirational content when they're showing things about families.
Okay.
Like when I'm watching real life like things that could mirror the real world, I'll look for aspirational or feel good stories in that regard. When I'm watching something that's fantasy or clearly a work of fiction, I'm not looking always for aspirational. I'm looking for intriguing character, and how that relates to me never comes into the equation.
Well, we were talking about the difference in the way that men and women take in media and how they experience protagonists as a reflection of them or not. So the women are like, it's like I'm Barbie.
Yeah.
Or no, they're like, Barbie is literally me.
Yeah.
And then when men are watching John Wick, they're like, I am literally John Wick. Like my personality is like non-existent in this universe where I wish I were.
I would
John
imagine
Wick.
that I was suddenly stoic and had a 100% hit rate from like unbelievable distances with a handgun.
But you're like, it's like you're fantasizing about being John Wick,
Yes.
not about John Wick being you.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It wouldn't be a thing.
That's a whole other conversation because we're talking about fictional people. When it comes to a historical figure, you're going to run into problems because you're rewriting someone's real life to represent yours, and it's incredibly narcissistic and destructive to people's knowledge of human history.
Do you think would there be a way for us to do some type of study that could somehow indicate how levels of narcissism in culture have grown over time?
I don't know if it's...
I don't even know if it's possible to do that type of research, but I think about these things because like, if anything, I have one of like the lowest self-esteems. I don't have super high self-esteem. I'm not ashamed to admit that, but I think about it, and I think a lot of it, what we see in the narcissism in culture, is people looking to bolster self-esteem through themselves. And one of the ways they do that is by seeing media that they feel like represents them in a positive light. And I don't really see the culture as being done in a way like I don't watch stories about Croatian culture or I don't. If a character is Croatian or Polish, that doesn't really speak to me.
Well, people would say it's because you were never oppressed for being Croatian, so you didn't need to reclaim your identity.
But
or
they
whatever.
would they say that about an Italian? Italians were absolutely
how on earth that
persecuted.
resonates coming from someone like Will Smith
Yeah.
is a mystery to me because Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, and especially their children, have never faced real adversity in their lives.
Yeah.
And now they are churning out products from Hollywood to stoke racial animosity and division based on their own insecurities.
So the former Egyptian antiquities minister says that he referred to the series as falsifying facts. Netflix is trying to stir up confusion to spread false information from the origin of Egyptian civilization, that the origin of Egyptian civilization is black. I don't know where to go with something like this. They're not going to. And then did you see that they're now mad about both of the hires for Lilo and Stitch, the guy and the girl?
Well, the guy
it's okay because he's hot.
Yeah,
that's what they said.
The guy, I believe, is like Mexican descent or something.
But they're saying he's not the right.
But
complexion.
he's not dark enough either. And we were actually getting some comments about that I wanted to address.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Let me open that up. Because a lot of people were saying, no, like that actress actually is Native Hawaiian. If that is the case, guys, I looked into it and I tried to find more information. I looked at her Wikipedia page and all of these different sources. It says she's half white, half Filipino, and not Polynesian descent.
But that doesn't mean she can be a native of Hawaii, but not be Polynesian.
She is a citizen of Hawaii. That doesn't make her ethnically Hawaiian. And I get the difference. And if people think that difference is important enough to stir up a fuss, then that's their business. I don't personally. So let's look at some comments here.
From Cleopatra?
I'm looking at the Lilo and Stitch one first.
Okay.
They said it wasn't a race swap, it was a tone swap. The actress is Hawaiian, but not the right shade of Hawaiian. The race grifting is getting absolutely perfect when they're mad at a shade of a person.
That's colorism.
It is mostly about her skin color, because what if she were full Filipino but dark skinned? Would they have caused this big of a controversy about it?
Right now, there is no job I would want less than a casting director, which is sad because back in the day, I think that would have been the most fun job in the world. If you got to work on a big budget production and you got to have the leeway to go and find just the best actors you could to play different roles.
Here's one other comment I wanted to address.
Okay.
They said they've already made remakes with white people, Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, both movies where the race of the main characters mattered. I'm just wondering what their argument is for why the race of Cinderella or Beauty and the Beast mattered. Why that specifically matter? Because Cinderella has been race swapped twice.
Yeah.
I don't know why
they
Cinderella
they might not
matters.
know that. They might not know about the Brandy version of it.
It was also Camila Cabello.
Yeah.
Too. But I get
now
that
Snow White is
Lily
coming.
James also played Cinderella in the live action. Yep. They said Little Mermaid Ariel could literally be any race because mermaids aren't real. Sorry, that's just not how this works.
Because like, it's
she's not a fish.
None of these characters are real.
I mean, none of the characters are real.
Yeah.
So,
but it was written in a specific place by a specific person.
I mean, Beauty and the Beast, she's literally in love with a mythical creature. Yeah. In Cinderella, she has a fairy godmother. None of this is real, but the issue comes in when people start interweaving their personal issues and insecurities and racial, I don't know, needs for vindication into childhood stories.
Greeks never. I was reading this one comment from somebody who says Greeks never get a chance to play Greeks, but come on, completely changing history for program is mental.
You could equally say that Gal Gadot playing Cleopatra is a problem because she's not Greek. You could say the same thing about Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra because she wasn't Greek either.
There's an actress named, is it Melina Konakaridis? She was in the old CSI New York. She's Greek. She could do it.
She doesn't. That's the point, though. Like, she doesn't need to be Greek.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
I'm fantasy booking right now.
And we're not looking at Queen Cleopatra on Netflix and saying it's a problem that Adele James is black. Yeah. We're saying it's a problem when you're trying to pass this off as historical fact.
Yeah.
When it's not. And when part of the trailer literally says, don't listen to what your teachers tell you.
It's a scary precedent to set. Like to just be like, hey, by the way, everything you were told, it was wrong. But this thing from this profit-seeking entity, I guess, is the school system any more trustworthy? I do. It's not like I don't trust. It's not like I trust the school system all that much more these days.
No, but I mean, this was from a woman saying, like, my grandmother always told me, don't listen to what your teachers tell you. Cleopatra was black. That's blatantly ahistorical. And if anything, you could just be at peace with the fact that we don't know everything about the ancient world, and we probably never will. And there are a lot of things we don't know, and we can just leave them be.
In the chat, Unknown says Gal Gadot wouldn't do it because of the Israeli-Egyptian war. I don't know if that's like information that I don't know about, but she was signed on to do a version of Cleopatra with Patty Jenkins directing. I don't know if that's new information or if that's something different, but as far as I know, that movie is still being done.
Yeah. I wonder if she's going to get hate for that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it'll be the same, but because it's not the same type of disagreement here, but I think it'll come up.
Yeah, I think that Gal Gadot is going to get hate for that, and people already hate her because she's not pro-Palestine.
And because she did that horrible version of Imagine.
Oh, and that's
the real crime.
I mean, that's the main thing.
I mean, maybe
maybe
COVID was just going to go away, but then that happened, and God is just like, nope, it's going to get worse.
Someone else commented, I was surprised that Jada didn't have Cleopatra be bald.
Could have. It's going to be like Queen Alopecia. It's going to be like, that's what it'll be the next one.
Love that.
All right, guys. Do you have any more that you want to read?
Let's hold off on that.
All right, let's come back. We got some super chats there, Mary. Do we not?
Yeah. Goofer Trooper said, Brett, will you try out Berserk?
You said that they were on YouTube. I will look into getting into that on the weekend. I am about to start. Okay, guys. The other day they made an announcement that they're bringing Baywatch back, right? And I said, if I have to watch Fat Baywatch, if I have to see Fat Baywatch, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't want to see Fat Baywatch. If I have to see Lifeguard Lizzo, don't do it. But so instead, what I pitched is that they remake Baywatch Nights, which was this hilarious show where the lead character from Baywatch solves crimes at night with like a private investigation.
It'll just be the Top Gun Maverick football scene.
Yes, the whole time, except for fat people. No, they better be hot lifeguards. But the point is that they've got all episodes of Baywatch Nights on YouTube, so I'm actually planning to be watching that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Brett is very deeply invested in seeing rippling abs.
I am. Yes, that's right. Exactly. Perfectly. How'd you know?
Big Derp Energy said, blame Jesus for the whole birthday month trend. We can make one exception.
Is that his fault?
Schrodinger's effery said, just don't put Sam Hyde in a self-defense situation. Don't do it. Captain Caveman said, shout out to my homeboy Brent.
Look,
shout out.
It's not very nice, guys.
How do you know they're talking about you? It's talking about his homeboy Brent.
Could be anyone.
Brent is out there.
I guess there are actual Brents in the world who have been unfortunately named.
Marcos sent $1 without a message. Thank you. Big Derp Energy said T Swift isn't being beamed up for research. She's returning to the mothership. Godspeed. Take the rest of the infiltrators with you, dear.
Look, they need to study her so they can figure out what she's doing right that's surgically turned her into the alpha male in the entertainment industry, while all of these men turn out to be not, to be very beta.
It's funny that, Taylor Swift, I'm not saying she's a bad singer. She's a great singer, but she's not that amazing of a singer. She's mostly blown up because of her personality,
and she caught a very good vibe at the right time and captured a lot of hearts with lyrics that were supposed to be. Maybe it's the fact that it's all like connected to real people, so you feel
she's a better lyricist than a singer.
Yeah,
I would say. Shane H. Wilder said, "You're wrong. The UFO is coming to take her home." Damn, I send the chat and then Brett says it.
Let's do one more and then we'll move on.
Potatoes for Seamus said, hi, Mary. Hi, Brett. Happy episode 250 and happy Friday.
Yeah, yesterday I had the episode
messed up.
The thumbnail said episode 349. The thumbnail, the actual writing said episode 249.
That's
so
okay.
I fixed it after the fact. I should have just left it.
things happen, mistakes happen.
All right, let's move on, guys. We're going to come back to the rest of them. So let's talk about Emily Ratatouille.
Yes.
We love Emily Ratatouille here, do we not?
No? I don't love her. I'm sorry.
Well, Emily Ratatouille, she posed topless for Marc Jacobs. It's a genderless apparel campaign after declaring herself a feminist, and it just feels to me like the ultimate proof that they really do want female erasure.
Yeah, it feels like the ultimate repudiation of what was originally supposed to be called a women's liberation movement.
Yeah, like they're literally saying that to be like...
It's kind of admitting where we were from square one, because feminism has always been about kind of making women more man-like, but not quite men, and making men more woman-like, but not quite women, and then everybody just ends up being a gender ambiguous blob that can buy products. An
amorphous blob where you're like where every product is technically marketed for you. Therefore, their ability to market outward is for everyone.
So she was on this advertising campaign for Marc Jacobs, and here's what the label said. The collection plays on core values and aesthetics central to the brand, exploring genderless expression and celebrating individuality through effortlessly cool streetwear pieces emblazoned with the familiar chain-patterned Marc Jacobs lettering. It's effortlessly cool streetwear pieces for people who are just like Barbie dolls down there, just totally smooth. There's just nothing there. No secondary sex characteristics, no defining features. Everyone is on HRT.
Are you a Barbie doll or a Ken doll?
And we're all kind of like obese, so our endocrine systems are getting disrupted, and we all just kind of look like blobs. Blech. And we love wearing blazers and chain necklaces. Sorry. This is just funny because Emrata clearly relies on having a hyper feminine presentation.
Very feminine.
And a presentation that you can obviously see is still appealing to the male gaze.
Yes.
Whatever she would call it. Which she believes is oppressive. But yet it gives her all of her power. Yeah. And this has been twisted all sorts of ways as a cope. Like, I'm still getting comments about OnlyFans on my Instagram saying, actually, Mary, you just don't understand that when women make OnlyFans, it's to exploit men because men are willing to pay them. And that's exploitative.
That's,
I mean, I can assure you, when you put everything out there on display for men to look at, even if they're paying to look, it's not them that are getting exploited. It's you. In a one-to-one transaction, if it's the idea that your modesty versus their $4.99 a month, somebody is losing more than the other. Yeah. One person is losing $4.99 a month, and the other person is losing their dignity. So tell me who is getting exploited.
I guess you could say that the guy's dignity may be up for, like, he's not doing his own self-confidence any favors either, but he's not broadcasting.
Sure, but you can hide it.
Yeah.
At least you can hide that.
There was a really interesting video the other day where a lady goes, she calls them ceiling fans girls. And she talks about how they don't need no man, and then says, "Well, what about this guy?" And she points out like the man who created the platform, and who takes a cut of everything you make. And for most female creators on ceiling fans, says like, "Look, you wouldn't be here if men weren't buying your products. So technically, you do need a man. You just
exactly.
You just need multiples of them rather than one."
I think Emrata is just one of these people who is conventionally hot and thinks that you need to compensate because people see you as a smart hot girl and not a hot smart girl.
That kind of comes back to how they've now changed the words around where like person of color, it recognizes the humanity first. That's what their logic is for using that term. So she's like, I'm not a hot smart girl. I'm a smart hot girl. Okay. The smart comes first.
Well, No, if you're a smart, hot girl, it's because your hotness is the primary characteristic. You just happen to be smart. It's not something people immediately think about you. But if you're a hot, smart girl, people immediately notice that you're smart, and then they're like, added bonus, she's hot. So you're really actually smarter than the smart, hot girl, if that makes any sense.
My brain just broke a little
Emrata
bit.
is just someone who happens to be verbally competent enough to have a podcast where she's like influencing her female audience, has female guests that are willing to sit there with her for an hour a week complaining about men constantly, talking about how dating is so liberating, but also they hate men, they hate their guts.
It's got to be a very hard life to live, to both like hate somebody but need them.
Exactly, and that's the constant, like the chaos that's going on inside of the modern female psyche.
Do you think that's new?
But Emrata is just midwit enough where you can write, you can talk, but you're not quite making the connections like the ones we're making right now.
Okay.
You don't quite have the level of introspection to hold yourself accountable for anything. So when she talks about constantly how she got arrested at a Brett Kavanaugh protest,
I didn't even know that.
That's kind
until
of
I
a
read
pivotal moment in her life. I did find out about that actually recently. She was marching to the Supreme Court with Amy Schumer.
That's a
at her
fun.
side.
That's a fun group of people to hang out with, I'm sure.
And yeah, and when they did the sit-in at the Supreme Court, they were then sectioned off from the rest of the protesters by police, given pink wristbands to mark them off from the rest of them, and then they were escorted out. So they were not arrested. They were also caught on video being politely asked by police, would you like to get arrested? And them saying yes. Because they know, just like AOC knew, that if you have pictures of yourself getting cuffed in the headlines, that's amazing PR.
There was an episode of the show Bones where he brings in like a guy, like a rapper, and he offers to arrest him to get information, like so that he'll give him information because he knows it'll help his street cred. So they're literally that rapper. The guy, he's like, how about this?
Yeah.
You give me this information, and I'll throw in an attempted assault charge as well. And the guy goes, sweet.
One thing that people latched on to when she was at that protest with all the women dressed up as Handmaid's Tale characters is she didn't wear a bra. She was wearing a white tank top without a bra, and that was considered very provocative. So she got to stroke her ego about that. She held up a sign saying, respect female existence or expect our resistance. That's so clever, Emrata. Where did you get that? An Instagram infographic? Her caption says, today I was arrested protesting the Supreme Court nomination of Brett Kavanaugh, a man who has been accused by multiple women of SA. Men who hurt women can no longer be placed in positions of power. Kavanaugh's confirmation as a justice of the Supreme Court of the U.S. is a message to women in this country that they do not matter. I demand a government that acknowledges, respects, and supports women as much as it does men. I don't even know why you need a message from your government that you matter, but I hope you get well soon. What a bizarre statement.
As long as you pay your taxes, you matter to them.
Yeah.
You matter just enough to make sure that you're alive so that you can keep paying your taxes.
I found this awful image of Amy Schumer throwing up a fist.
A red salute?
One of the red salutes with her pink wristband on as she's getting escorted out of the building by the cops.
Here's the thing. Look, they use the imagery of The Handmaid's Tale to illustrate this fantasy of what they imagine our culture has turned into. Or the
Marxist revolution.
But what they don't realize is the true absurdity of it is rich, vapid, self-absorbed, extremely privileged, wealthy celebrity elites pretending to fight the system while getting to be asked if you want to be arrested. That is the actual absurdity here. That is what the story should be.
In her mind, that's the same thing as getting shot with a fire hose. That's literally the same thing in her
These
mind.
people, man.
This is the most resistance that Emrata has ever faced in her life.
And this is a culture that has raised the next generation to do vapid activism as if it's some type of worthy thing to do in your life, when it's not. You should not only not be an activist, you should actively crusade to be an anti-activist and push back on anyone who decides to waste their time with slacktivism. It is for the cheap of mind and the cheap of heart. It is not something that people do if they actually expect things to change. None of these people want change. What they want is to be seen pretending to push for change. Part of that goes to, you know, I put a lot of this back on like the famous ad campaign of Obama, the change poster. Like, that was so influential and moving, right? So it's like a lot of people saw that.
Did you find that moving?
No, I didn't, but other people did.
I just don't get it.
I didn't. I wasn't politically active at the time. I didn't really care. I was like, he got voted in, cool. I didn't really care. The first thing I noticed, I said, why is this guy in the news so much? Why isn't he like, shouldn't he be like, I just didn't remember Bush or Clinton being on the news that much at the time. It's not important. Point is, celebrity activism is if I have to choose between activism and celebrity activism, I'd rather, I guess, the kids be activists than like. There's something more hypocritical.
No.
I don't want either, but there's something to me more infuriating and hypocritical about celebrity activists. Because I don't buy that they don't understand. I buy that a lot of the kids buy into what they're trying to sell. I don't buy that the celebrities buy into it. I think it's all an act.
Greta Thunberg buys into what she's saying because she has an autistic hyperfixation on
I'm not saying kids like that. I'm saying just kids that are activists, like the youth, college kids. The youths.
I think that someone like Emrata is adopting the cause that a lot of teenagers or college kids maybe care about and pretending that it also affects her.
Somebody in the chat should do a meme. It's the "Hello Fellow Kids" meme, but it's Emrata with like a
Hello Fellow
Kids
with her protest sign.
With her white tank top.
Yeah.
And no bra.
It's like, what can I do that requires the least amount of effort that will be applauded the most?
Yeah.
I know, burn my bra and get naked and call it a genderless ad campaign. I don't understand. It's genderless feminism, whatever.
In the show Numbers, the main characters are a math professor and his brother, who's an FBI agent, and their dad is also a main character in the show as well. He was a former city planner who was a hippie activist in the 60s. Now he's a very normal person in the show. The show was filmed in 2006, and there's an episode where the character of Charles Epps, his head of department at the college, is trying to get him, like, he's being brought to these like luncheons and dinners to, like, because he's a world famous mathematician, to basically shuck and jive for these donors that are giving money, and one of them's like it's a big pharma at the time, basically. And he finds out from his girlfriend that this big pharma company that they're supposedly going to get in bed with has a bad track record. And he's like, Dad, well, if we take the money, we're tacitly telling him they're what they do is okay. And he says, well, my 30 years of city planning has tempered my activism with pragmatism. And it seems like nobody these days finds the middle ground and gets to pragmatism and finds a way to actually be a little bit more even keel, because there's too much social clout in the activism, which is not based in reality when it comes for outcomes. And these celebrities don't care anyways, because they're firewalled off from all of this anyways. It's not like any of the things they campaign for affect them.
You can tell how grandiose they think what they're doing is by the way that they talk about it. This tweet from Amy Schumer following that protest said, people are trolling Emrata for not wearing a bra while she got arrested. Well, for starters, I wasn't wearing a bra either. Thanks for the information. Didn't want to know that.
Amy Schumer said that?
Yeah.
I really didn't need
In
to know
the
that.
what to wear when being detained for 4 hours.
What the frick is going on in our life? Like, that is not a conversation you have. This is not a freaking thing where it's like 10 things to get arrested at a protest in. F you, scumbag.
What she was saying is, in the what to wear when being detained for 4 hours on an 87-degree day after a 2-hour march handbook, bras aren't recommended. Emily sacrificed herself fighting to protect women's rights. Sacrificed herself to choose what to do with their own bodies. How about we show her the same courtesy and direct some of that toxic energy to people who deserve it? She sacrificed herself. That is something you should only say about somebody that got shot. Not someone who got criticized on the internet for having protruding nipples.
That is one of the most disgusting things I've ever heard. And the I don't know if dystopian is the word for this, but we live in this absolute clown show of a world. If I could take that laptop and throw it out a window just for having those words on the screen, I would. But that's your laptop, so I can't do that.
But it's the company laptop.
I can't do that. It's a good thing I've kind of cut out the energy drinks because I'd be spazzing right now.
That's okay.
Like, it's just such
a sacrificed herself fighting to protect women's rights.
I need something
to kill their own children.
I need something to throw here. I've got nothing to throw. Take this pen. Like, look. Can we move on?
We have not evolved as a society at all. That is all we needed to cover.
Can we move on to Rachel McAdams?
Yes.
That's at least funny.
Here's a news story. Rachel McAdams recently did a cover story with Bustle, and a video they posted is Rachel McAdams giving advice to her preteen self. And one thing that she covered in that video is the subject of shaving her legs and getting her first bra. It's a little weird to broadcast this type of stuff to millions of people for their reactions when it's supposedly something that you're talking about your personal life and your childhood.
But this is not much different.
That's what celebrities do.
This is not much different than somebody saying, like, I got arrested for activism. Well, not being arrested for activism. It's like, I'm making a statement with my armpit hair.
Yeah. And then in these photos, Rachel McAdams is wearing outfits where you can clearly see that she has armpit hair. I think that was supposed to be the star of the photo shoot, not Rachel McAdams, unfortunately. And people had a lot of strong reactions to this.
And you actually said that you think the overreactions are a little bit cringy.
I think having a strong reaction in an either negative or positive way to some person, be it a celebrity or an ordinary person you walk by on the street having armpit hair, is cringe. Yes.
I have a strong reaction to making it out like it's some big statement.
Like it's heroic.
Yes. I have a strong reaction to that.
Yeah. I personally don't understand what Rachel McAdams growing out her armpit hair does for women, but update me when we get answers on that.
Does Emily Ratatouille protesting in a white tank top do anything for women? Apparently.
They're sacrificing themselves to protect women's rights. That's news to me. People nicknamed her Rachel McArmpits. She got a lot of negative comments.
Okay, that made me laugh.
People said, that's just nasty. They said, dear Lord, she has more pit hair than me. Not sure who exactly wants to see pit hair. It's kind of worthless. I just don't. I think that you're giving into the bait. Yeah. If you comment all of these things, or if you comment celebrating the fact that she has armpit hair. I don't know why we need to have an opinion on anyone's armpit hair. It doesn't matter.
We have a $20 one right there.
You got it from Baron of Gray Matter. Mary, for cough, Moline drops. Hawaii Farm Good brand, 20 drops 3 times per day for 2 weeks. 48 hours will show big improvement. Check with pharmacists for any conflicts with current meds. It works fast and safely. Be well.
Well, it's almost the weekend.
Is this an ad?
It's like...
I keep getting sick. I said this yesterday. I'm like a consumptive Victorian orphan.
Please, sir, I'd like some more.
I'd like some more porridge. Tim.
Please, Tim, I'd like some more.
Mr. Poole,
I'd like some more
porridge, please.
Luckily, we've got a big episode tomorrow, but after that, it's the weekend.
Yeah, we got a special guest tomorrow.
We got a very special guest.
That's gonna be fun.
Yes.
People were responding to this story, posting pictures of other female celebrities with armpit hair. Madonna was pictured. I see also Julia Roberts, Britney Spears, a lot of old Hollywood actresses, because I think back in that era it was less common to shave their armpits. But women started shaving their armpits because of fashions that ended up showing their underarms and side boob like they never had before. Yeah. And that in itself can be seen as feminist. Yeah. Therefore, cringe.
Is there a guy's version of any of this?
I mean, increasingly guys are shaving their armpits to look like women. So all the women are gonna start looking more manly, and all the men are gonna start looking more feminine.
She can do an ad campaign with Dylan Mulvaney where she shaves his armpits and he doesn't shave hers.
I hate that. I hate everything about that. By the way, Dylan Mulvaney has not posted anything since April 7th.
Really?
Anything at all. So I'm worried about that comeback, if there is one.
I'm telling you, like Mulvaney can be like day 300 or 400 of being a girl. Rachel McAdams shaves my armpits. Sorry.
Nasty.
It's a weird culture where we found this way to turn regular everyday things that aren't really important and make them some type of statement, and it's always these rich celebrities that get to decide what that is. Like, yeah, what does that matter? Like some lady who's just working 2 jobs to pay her bills, taking care of her kids, doesn't care about your feminist movement. She just doesn't. No. All right, we got some super chats there. Mary?
The last of my kind said, got a 2-hour nap. 'Twas much needed. He sent that twice. I don't know if he meant to do that.
Thank you.
But thank you.
And I'm glad your nap was good.
Yeah, I'm jelly right now. Jacob Edler said, have a great day, with a bunch of weed emojis, I assume.
Fair enough. Also,
who's blazing it today?
I made the point where I said
devil's lettuce.
That is like I'd like to throw something, but I'd like to be angrier, but I'm not drinking any energy drinks anymore. I got an amazing message recently where somebody said, "You're not getting as overly excited on the show anymore. Thank you."
Thank you. Yeah.
I was like, I'm kind of insulted, but okay. Like, you know, it is what it is. I mean, thanks, I guess.
It's the most underhanded compliment.
As I'm like, yeah, it's like you're not showing your face as much on screen. Thank you.
It's over 9,000 said Mary made a good point last night, and it's not just airports. Sports venues have relabeled their third bathrooms from family to gender neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never needed to do that. But now that it's called gender neutral, people who aren't with kids can feel just fine about taking up the gender neutral restroom.
Yep.
I don't use the family restrooms still, even though they're labeled gender neutral, because I know that moms use them.
Yeah.
They need to use them. I don't know.
What about dads?
I don't think that having
dads
gender neutral
them.
bathrooms is some kind of solution.
It's like when they refer to a dad as babysitting his kids. Dads could use the gender neutral bathroom too.
They can. I don't feel like I had many points last night.
It's okay. You don't have. One of the most impressive things that I see, like whenever I do IRL now, is I listen to Tim talk, and he can hold these long, extremely coherent like trains of thought that I could never do while doing like multiple things at once. And I'm like, I need to figure out how to do that. I know he likes his he practices, he keeps his memory sharp and stuff like that. I talk for less than 30 seconds, and my brain is already like, what were you saying?
I relate. Ian just kept saying things that everyone else seemed to not get, but they comprehended what he intended by it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like,
we love Ian.
Like, God is the way things are moving, and the universe is a spiral.
Dude, I can feel like a tie-dye
microwave. radiation is God. I just
Woodstock starts playing in the background and Jimi Hendrix.
I don't understand.
There's a $20 one right there.
It's from Shane H. Wilder. Had a convo about the protests about this at work. I didn't even get the "you're a man" shutdown. I got the "you're a Catholic, you don't understand science" shutdown. Also, the cough sounds rough, Mary. Please get better. What was the convo about? I don't get it.
If they're like what?
We got another
protests?
one.
Oh, go for it.
Big Derp Energy. Genesis 1:12. Dewey Rhymes. Sorry. And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed upon the earth, and all trees that have in themselves seed of their own kind to be your meat. So how is it the devil's lettuce?"
Okay.
I'm not engaging with this point.
Let's go back to the first one. What protest is he talking about?
I don't know.
Are we talking about the
Was it the
Kavanaugh stuff?
Kavanaugh and like abortion thing or what?
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Devil's lettuce, anyways, is just a colloquial term.
Okay.
All right.
Carnell said, "Hail to the crisis actors. Sup, Brett. Hi, Mary. Can we just start referring to the studio as Stinkbug Studios for now?"
Dude, you're not wrong about that. It's basically that at this point.
We've had exterminators in here 3 times in the past month, and nothing is working.
It's not working, and it's starting to suck.
Yeah. Biddy Beasley said, "Happy 420, y'all. I don't blaze it, but it's our uncle's birthday today. Shout out to my uncle. Come visit the Sunshine State. We have scaly dogs, absolute madmen, and the 14 words."
Okay. Well, I would like to
I
come.
have no idea what that means.
Let's hold up on the rest, and thank you for that, and happy birthday to your uncle.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's
Okay.
hold off on the rest, and let's come back.
Yeah, we're about to talk about the intersection between the Stanford prison experiment and the entire genre of reality television, folks. It's getting crazy. This is fishtank.live. It's a reality show that's recently come out. It premiered a couple of days ago, produced by Sam Hyde, if you're familiar with him, and Jet Neptune. If you don't know, I guess, Sam Hyde had an Adult Swim show that was canceled after like 3 months in 2016 called MDE. It was $1 Million Extreme Presents World Peace. You can look it up yourself if you'd like. But he has a long reputation on the internet, and now this is his newest project. And it's gonna be what they call the most important reality show ever. Yeah, ever. Here's the premise. I went to the fishtank.live website for this. Fish Tank is a streamer house monitored 24/7 and broadcasted live to the world.
I mean, isn't that kind of what Big Brother was?
But it's Big Brother on steroids.
Okay.
All bedrooms have cameras. Common spaces are monitored via video and audio surveillance. When the lights go out, the IR comes on. The Fish Tank house is always on. So it's also completely interactive with the viewers. They can donate.
That part's new.
To speak to the residents of the house through TTS, text to speech.
Yeah.
And they can donate to influence what kind of pranks or challenges that the contestants have to go through. I think it's like 8 people competing all together, and you have to complete one weekly challenge in order to stay in the game. So I guess that means it's going to last like almost a couple of months, unless people start dropping out because it's so difficult.
So it's basically like Big Brother, but with like influencers, or I guess they're not even influencers.
They're not influencers. I mean, unfortunately, what they called them was freaks. They called them freaks. Like,
it feels like a prank. It feels like they're being pranked.
Let's watch the trailer and give you guys the
from,
vibe that they're going for, I guess.
The one from Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Role models is Jesus and probably Andrew Tate.
The Fish Tank is a fully monitored smart house. You live in the
is Jesus and probably Andrew Tate.
The Fish Tank is a fully monitored smart house. You live in the walls. You control the action.
If someone lied to me during the show, I would definitely talk to them.
8 contestants.
I'm fully vaccinated with 2 boosters. Left profile.
6 weeks.
We're definitely gonna have to team up and then kick everyone out. I like cover my ears and start screaming and have like an autism meltdown.
No privacy.
I've been in over like 100 fights. I could for real like scrap with anybody.
No phone.
The longest I've been without my phone, probably like a week or 2.
We heard what you said. We know when you go to the bathroom.
And that can't be real.
One winner walks away with $10,000. This is Fish Tank.
I like how it looks like it's like just a house in the neighborhood.
It is.
Like, like right next to another house.
Can you imagine being the next door neighbor?
Like shows like this are usually take place at like a compound or something. The neighbors are just going out to get like groceries and they're like some dude being tortured on the second level by being shown anti-Andrew Tate videos as like some type of prank.
Okay, 8 contestants live in a fully monitored smart house that is live streamed 24/7 to viewers for 6 weeks at fishtank.live. Viewers are able to prank contestants and determine what happens to them via donations, similar to Control My Room live streams. They get a cash prize of $10,000 if they win.
That's not even that much.
It's not that much, but if you think about it, like we're in a recession.
Yeah.
These are people in their early 20s.
I mean, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to me, but not for what they're going through.
Yeah, is it worth sacrificing your sanity and your dignity and your privacy completely?
And like, what would the government take in taxes on that? Like, you're gonna come home with like $4,000.
The crazy thing is, I was watching an excerpt from a stream, and Sam Hyde said he's already paid like over $30,000 in just like paying legal fees and insurance. Beforehand. Because there are so many things that could go wrong. They had to do like extensive vetting on the people that they put in the show because they can't possibly have a criminal record or be on the sex offender registry or anything like that. And another thing that Jet Neptune said
that's the guy who suggested toilet cam, I'm sure. Whoever the sex offender is.
Is toilet camera real? I don't know. I haven't watched fishtank.live yet, so I'm not sure now that I want to.
Yeah.
You have to sign up, you have to register to watch, which I guess is how they're making their money for the most part, making a profit.
Watch us both get addicted to it.
But Jet Neptune said that they can't recruit from people who are already fans of him and Sam Hyde because they would end up loving it too much and they get the sense of humor and they would just enjoy it. So they
it
had
has to be people that don't like it.
Yeah, they had to find randoms.
Like people online who like had my sense of humor surgically removed at the age of 15. They're like, perfect, that guy.
So right now they've got Jonathan, Mauro, Simmons, Sylvia, Josie, Vance, Daniel, and Violetta.
Okay.
And the highlights have been getting posted to Twitter. A lot of weird stuff is happening. One clip showed one of the male contestants sniffing the bed sheets of
it's probably where they got the idea for
Obsession.
For that scene in Obsession with the guy humps the pillow.
Bad vibes. One of the contestants has been seen using a fidget spinner.
Those are still around?
As like a surrogate phone and constantly spinning around in chairs and like stimming, which is just like showcasing the spiral that a Gen Z person goes through without their phone.
Yeah. That doesn't happen to you. You're very capable of being around, of like going around without your phone.
Yeah, I believe I'm pretty good at it.
You are very good at it.
But it's difficult for practical reasons. That's all. So if you guys haven't watched so far, here's a summary of what's happened to catch you up. So on the first day at 1 a.m., Sam Hyde entered the house and introduced himself to the contestants. And he lied and told them that Mr. Beast had shared the link to the stream and that they had about 250,000 viewers live. And he got each of them to reveal who they thought would be kicked out of the house first. He ruined a puzzle that one of the contestants put together by smearing pizza on it. And
could have been worse. He could have just taken a piece. He could have just taken a piece.
Yeah. He burned a piece of pizza on the stove. Very chaotic energy here. He also made them take part in a challenge where he put 8 separate piles of rice, mixed jasmine and basmati rice around the house, and each contestant had to pick a pile of rice and pick it apart to count only the jasmine rice, and whoever was closest to the real number won.
He's just evil.
Isn't that bizarre?
He's just kind of evil.
Like, I mean, is it evil though? They literally volunteered to be there. And they can leave whenever they want.
I guess it's not that much different than somebody being like having a job that's a lot of work, and they're like, "Look, you don't have to stay here to get your paycheck. You can leave anytime you want."
And when it comes to something like MTV's Real World or Big Brother, for instance, like, are they doing bizarre things like this? What do you remember?
No, I mean, not like that.
They don't have like psychotic challenges.
It's more like Fear
that.
Factor.
It's more like it's like Real World and Big Brother meets Fear Factor, meets Stanford Prison Experiment. It's all that wrapped into one, and it sounds like a nightmare to go through. But they're doing it willingly, so at the end of the day, like, they chose it. Sam Hyde also told contestants that the house is haunted by, quote, the entity, which lives in the garage, after several viewers started allegedly seeing orbs on the garage camera.
Maybe it was actually Taylor Swift playing a concert nearby.
Maybe, or alien activity. At the end of the night, Sam Hyde asked the contestants to write essays.
About what exactly?
I don't know. But a lot of people have had reactions to this similar to yours, Brett, saying that it seems, unethical. It seems like you're humiliating these people. A Twitter user named Logo Daedalus said, "I think the Sam Hyde Fish Tank TV reality prank show is depraved and disgusting. It's literally just monetizing LARPing as a Guantanamo Bay torture unit."
Okay.
It's just effed. And it seems to be doing pretty well so far, because I didn't know about this until it was promoted in the algorithm for me.
I'd never heard of it.
But for people who are fans of Sam Hyde already, this is just the sense of humor of him and his fanboys. It's like all post-ironic, like, I don't know, IRL streaming, mixing reality with humor.
I think a lot of that's why we're kind of going nuts as a society, because people are learning how to manipulate, like you said, post-ironic, but it's almost like we're in a weird type of hyper-reality where you're watching stuff happen and you think it's all real, because it's not like there's a director there saying do this, do that, cut, but it's still not entirely real because it's still planned. There's still decisions that make these events come to fruition. So it's a weird type of middle ground between movies and television and reality, and it falls somewhere in the middle, and it's like our brains can't handle it.
Yeah. Also, people are disputing the conditions that the contestants are subjected to. One person refuted and said, "It's cruel to buy a bunch of 20-somethings pizza, give them toys to play with, and give them DVD copies of Stuart Little too." They did actually, like, they were provided with board games and some, like, I think books.
Okay.
So they're not just sitting staring at paint dry. But even if they were, they're adults, so it's their choice to stay.
It's a free market.
But it's like sort of it's like a Black Mirror episode almost.
Yeah.
It's something that Black Mirror could,
I guess, kind of Squid Games-esque too.
Story. Maybe. I mean, obviously a lot lower stakes.
Yeah, less murders, but still.
You won't lose your life, but you will lose your dignity
and your sanity.
Okay, it just doesn't seem legal to record people in the bathroom, though.
No, it doesn't.
I'm pretty sure that, but I know that it is because they know that they're getting recorded, right? So maybe they are, but I don't even want to see that. Like, I'm not interested in seeing that.
Maybe it's like a weird type of like bait and switch where it's like just them washing their hands.
Maybe
it's like just the mirror after they wash their hands or something like that. That's actually just a way to get the audience.
I don't know. But yeah, people had a lot of psychotic ideas for torturing the contestants.
I mean, that's kind of like eventually that'll be like, at least he didn't hire prison guards. Like,
yeah.
Like, I guess that's technically what the people streaming are.
Since it's a smart house, they can constantly control the temperature, whether they have light in the house at night or people said you should like start them off with 0 light bulbs and have them earn light bulbs.
Dude, that's dignity. You're sacrificing your dignity for this.
Exactly, but there's nothing you can do to stop them.
Yeah.
Seems like some of them are already pretty fluent in the internet and they know the type of people who will be watching.
Yeah.
So it's up to them, their discretion, I guess.
It's up to them. It's their choice. All right. Is this something you want to watch, or are you kind of worried that something bad's going to end up happening? I don't think anything bad will end up happening.
I mean, I have watched like people do IRL streaming in the past, but that's different.
I love the guy who like pays, like you can pay to like try and wake him up when he's sleeping. Like you can scream.
Yeah, I think they're going to be doing that to the contestants as well because of the text to speech.
Yeah.
Like trying to wake them up at night or using control of the house to wake them up at night. I don't know.
I could never do anything like that. I need my, like when we're done, like I have hard enough time being like seeming sane while doing this show. Like when I'm done, I just want to be like done and like not speak out loud.
Like that story from the guy on Love is Blind.
Yeah, about like how they manipulate the conditions.
Who said that they like manipulate the conditions by giving us all alcohol and no food and water.
Yeah.
Imagine him doing fish tank .live. Like I some people are just cut from different cloth, you know?
He's like, I'm built different. Somebody
like,
says,
he would never make it.
Somebody says after taxes, 10K after taxes is 7,580. So they're not even taking home $10,000.
Probably make more getting a lucrative job for 6 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know. All right.
This is what's happened to people who are college age.
And yes, in the chat, parodification. This is in fact me seeming sane. This is as close as I get to sane.
Someone commented, said this reminds me of the Onion's show from 2012, Sex House. Disenfranchised actors exploited and toyed with in the name of satire, given a fraction of the budget and recognition actual reality show participants would receive.
I think the funny reality shows having to be those poor neighbors who have to be like, what the fuck is going on here?
I mean, maybe they wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. We got some super chats there, Mary.
Yes. Grofty said, peck the like button. Buck.
Yes, guys. Could you please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Thank you very much.
Shane H. Wilder said, a woke documentary is inaccurate. Who knew?
Shocking.
Yes. Seth Essington said, sorry, Brett, I won't be able to send a bunch of super chats at the end of the show tonight while you're cleaning cash up like I did yesterday.
Look, I get a kick out of it, guys, when you keep me working later by sending those in.
It is rather time consuming to clean up the money, guys.
Yeah, every time somebody guests on the show, they're like, wow, that just takes a lot of time to pick up all the money. And usually we're like multitasking. I'm starting to like render the video and start editing and get everything going. We're picking up and everything. Mary does a lot of it, and I'm starting the editing process and finishing the thumbnails. But I don't dislike having to keep trying to get it all cleaned up before more money comes out.
Grofty said DW claims charges dropped against Alec Baldwin.
I was originally going to say we should talk about that today, but we'll probably end up talking about that tomorrow if that's true. I haven't had a chance to look into it yet.
Yeah, that'll be fun to talk about.
Yep.
Haven't heard about him in a minute. Carnell said, I know we have a rule about water around the electrical equipment, but could you make an exception so we could get a bubble machine to go off during crisis parties? This is my request.
That seems dangerous.
If it's in a different area of the room, like behind me.
It's behind on the behind Mary, but it's not. Is that really all that interesting? I guess
I
then
don't know.
Mr. Fluffy
Fog
King.
machine?
I mean that's not good for your like breathing after a while.
But we have ventilation in here.
Not really.
It's not good enough.
Not great. No, it's not.
Would we die?
We did fog machine in the outside skate park in the one.
I guess
garage.
if we had dry ice, that would be different, but we can't.
We
do that.
We did the fog machine in the outdoor skate park, or the one, the garage skate park, and it got really bad in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it affect how you skated?
No, but it affected how you can breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unusable Alpaca said, Marvel doesn't have as much time as you think. Kang is in the new season of Loki coming out in the next couple months, I think. This is what you get when you connect everything.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. 5-0 Charlie said, Elizabeth Taylor can do no wrong with purple eyes. That's like the fake news old wives' tale.
I didn't know that.
I love the most.
I'd never heard that until you told me about that.
Yeah, but no one has truly purple eyes. No.
Somebody pointed out yesterday they noticed that I had 2 different color eyes in like the stream.
It's harder to see with glasses.
With glasses on. Well, I mean, I don't think they would be able to see anyways. I don't think it would show up on that camera. But yeah, I have 1 hazel eye and 1 brown eye.
X said, correction, Overlord DVD's castle is at the center of the earth. He's been swamped, but we'll get back to you.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being the liaison.
That would be very cool to have him on here.
Should I send another email, or would that be stalkerish?
And hopefully he would wear the helmet. And we could have him on, and we wouldn't have to black out the screen. And he'd wear the helmet, and we could change his voice, and it would be glorious.
Yeah. Clef the Misfit said, I know y'all don't partake, but I still wanted to wish you a blessed 420. Hope you left out your milk and cookies for Snoop Dogg last night.
I do. Okay. I do love the idea that Snoop Dogg comes down the chimney smoking a blunt with a big sack of toys for kids, maybe, or for
a snack or a sack of drug paraphernalia
for adults. Yes, there's a bubbler and a bunch
of
bongs.
His elves are all of his professional joint rollers.
Yes, the one who makes $500K a year.
Yeah.
Let's do one more, and then I want to do the Meghan Markle thing last. I just want to share this with people.
Okay. Big Derp Energy said, a neighbor of mine lost a bet, and we made him get an Obama Hope poster tattooed on his leg. You may not think that is funny, but he's extremely racist.
What the hell? Did you ever hear the song?
I'm surprised you went through with that.
Did you ever hear the song "I've Got a Crush on Obama"?
No.
It's amazing.
Wait, yes, I did.
And it's it's not the lady who sings it, but they have this hot lady do the pretend to do the to lip sync it for the video. Yeah. This is why they were able to win back in whatever year this would have been, right? Because they could actually, maybe they couldn't meme yet, but they were at least able to do viral content.
It was a form of memeing. There are also some very indecent lyrics about Obama in Jeffree Star's cover of Boom Boom Pow by the Black Eyed Peas. I remember from 2008.
Yeah, it was this. The lip syncing is. She's not voting for John Kerry. She also talks about how he promotes a strong border, which is funny.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How times have changed.
How they have changed. Well, there was all that border fence talk back in 2008. So, and I think that's the lady who wrote the song. She's a political consultant / musician.
Wonder where she is now.
That is a very good question. But yeah, she's she takes it to Hillary in this song too. She takes everybody down. Yeah. All right. We got one more thing to talk about, guys. This is absolutely ridiculous. I saw this on Outkick. It says Meghan Markle's sex doll requests are coming in fast and furious, so stock up. Thoughts, Mary?
That headline is just taking me on an emotional roller coaster.
Right? I'm going to go ahead and agree with you. I don't think the doll looks much like Meghan Markle.
Do you want to show
We're going to show the doll. It's blocked out. It doesn't really look like her at all.
It doesn't look like anybody. really, it doesn't. It looks like an alien.
But they're saying that Meghan Markle and Princess Diana's sex doll requests are at an all-time high.
The Diana is just
wrong.
That's just wrong.
Right?
She's
long since
past.
Like, do they buy it and listen to Candle in the Wind?
She doesn't deserve that.
Meghan Markle says, I loved Rachel Zane on Suits and thought Markle would be an awesome American representative for the royal family. And they're talking about this. And
the face on that doll is just absolutely terrifying.
Looks nothing like her.
Yikes.
It's
And it doesn't look like a person. The eyes are like almost black.
Yep. It says, and if you thought Princess Diana requests were odd, folks are also frequently request Tupac sex dolls.
What?
So you know there's that.
Why?
I have no idea.
What is wrong with people?
We are in a weird timeline. Wonder how many Andrew Tate sex dolls get requested.
Hopefully 0.
Or
that's Haram.
Or Emily Ratajkowski.
That's definitely
There's probably
Haram.
a lot of Emily Ratajkowski ones. Isn't that creepy?
Gross.
Like, do you think like does it have like voice settings that like yell at you and talk and says, "Give me privacy"? Like as soon as you're done, it says, "Give me privacy."
It should just have the South Park mouth.
And no, it's like, and it comes in like a cuck package with Prince Harry, who sits in the chair in the other room.
You have a Prince Harry doll to sit in the cuck chair.
I'm telling you, it's
I hate it.
The platinum package comes with a Prince Harry doll as well. It just sits there like this in the corner. It says, "Yes, please."
Bruh.
Right. Let's just go on and finish the super chats, Mary. Now that we've ruined everyone's day by sharing that with them.
Yeah. DD Megadoodoo 97 said, I've been better because I keep getting interrupted while trying to listen to the show. Also, Mary, you didn't give any advice on how to approach trad women?
So how do you approach trad women,
Do you need
Mary?
this advice?
Well, he's asking.
It's difficult. I've known these women in my life.
I have a question. Do you consider yourself a trad woman?
I mean, not really. I don't think that on many metrics I would fit that description. It is whatever people say they want it to be now. But when I'm saying it, I'm talking about girls that I went to school with, who were like homeschooled, who were very sheltered from the world, who knew very little about,
the world,
the culture, where the culture is at right now, other than vaguely that it's bad. You have to be in their social circles. You have to be
it's
indistinguishable from the rest of their social circles, and unfortunately that's not something you can fake.
I was literally gonna say, it's like it requires like an almost impossible amount of sincerity, because it's not something that can be faked.
And anything trad is so insincere now. It's awkward.
Boss babe trad.
Okay, maybe it's sincere, but it's awkward, and you can't get past the fact that it's awkward. Like, it's like if somebody were to start going to traditional Latin mass. Like, you definitely didn't grow up going to traditional Latin mass. You're going because you made a conscious decision to go, and it's an awkward thing that you learn to do as an adult. It's awkward. I don't know. But I guess my best advice is just to be involved in your church and not just go to mass, but be like socially engaged in a
kind of
community
like
there.
That idea, there's that like pushed idea of like, go meet a nice girl at church, because you shouldn't be going to church just to meet a nice girl. You should be going to church because you actually believe in what you're going to church for. And if for some reason you meet a nice girl at church, that's good.
The whole like paradigm of how do I approach, like how do I approach somebody, like that's not like something that you think about doing. It just happens. Like you just you meet people. Like you don't need to think about approaching somebody like they're I don't know, like that whole mindset is a problem in and of itself. But I hope I had said something helpful. Captain Caveman said, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but Bert will never hurt me."
Well, I'm not Bert, so.
But Bert will never Bert you.
Bert is not here, but if Bert was here, I'm sure he would agree that he wouldn't want to hurt you either.
Mick Pagan said, "I make ANCAP trap metal under the name The Agorist. If you like screaming and want to help build some anti-cringe counterculture, I'm on all platforms."
Okay. Also,
wow.
Is that where does the term agorist come from?
I have no idea.
Because there's a guy on Twitter named Sal the Agorist that I always see tweets from. I don't know if that's the same person, but good on you, man.
Baron of Gray Matter said, "Not an ad. Sheesh, jaded much." Okay, yeah. I thank you for your suggestion. That was totally not an ad. Sketch Therapy said, "Saw Mary with fellow whatever podcast guest on IRL."
Oh yeah, I forgot Michael Knowles was on the podcast before.
Yeah,
Every time I see Michael Knowles, it's like, here's the thing, guys. I am older than Michael Knowles by like several years, and every time I think about that, it kind of breaks my brain because he's just such an adult.
He's just
such an adult. He's just so adult. He adults so well.
He was an adult since he was 9 years old.
Yeah, he's made that joke before. He's like I came out of the womb with a cigar and a glass of cognac. Like I look at him and I'm just like, you have been an adult for so long. It is so impressive, even though I'm literally older than you. But I guess maybe because of my years of substance abuse, I got set back. I was like failing high school and you get set back a year. I had to restart.
Anyone can wear a suit.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's still, you have to like want to wear it and rock it. And I just like...
Gabby Hayes said, "420 blaze it, guys."
I can't,
Disavow.
given my, where I'm at in life. I am living the sober life these days, but...
But are you California sober?
I am just sober. I'm not California sober. But you, Gabby, feel free. That's I am not here to criticize anyone who does that. That's one of my big pet peeves in a lot of these things is the people who get overly judgmental about other people making their choices, because at the end of the day, you make the decisions you do. And I know plenty of people who have been able to dabble, do whatever they want, and it never seems to, they never have the problems I had. My problems were uniquely my own. I myself was not able to moderate the things that I had a problem with. And I would never judge or criticize somebody for whatever choices they want to make. I would caution that you be careful. And that obviously, with weed is a little bit different for some people.
I think it dulls your reason. It's immoral, and it's also bad aesthetically. You should probably be on stimulants instead of weed.
Definitely.
If you're going to be doing drugs at all.
No. I would not say that. We're getting into spicy territory.
Oh, now you're judgmental of people who do stimulants?
No, I'm saying that I think that one is more likely to be addictive than the other.
I just think that the vibes are off.
The vibes are off. None of you will get any disapproval from me. Do what you want.
Never disapproval from Brett, even if you commit arson.
Well,
he's like, no judgment here.
Exactly. It's like, if you want to do drugs while committing arson, I'm just like, hey man, you live your life.
As long as there are no people in the building.
Exactly. So as long as you're not harming another person.
Said PCC Ian is way better than IRL Ian, less annoying. I don't think he's annoying at all. I just don't understand anything that he's saying.
Maybe that's his superpower. Also, somebody points out caffeine is the best drug. Yes. For me, that's been something that I've learned, right? Like, it's like you have to learn to get away from that as well, or at least be able to be cognizant that it affects you. Like, I've taken to not taking the energy drinks as often while doing the show and learning moderation.
I've never been affected by caffeine in that way. It just doesn't wake me up at all.
I used to think that was the fact for me with energy drinks because of years of being prescribed Adderall and doing other such actual like high-end stimulants like that, or like over-the-top stimulants. And I realized that it was at least slightly like my fall asleep time drops by, my time to bed drops by like about a half an hour, sometimes an hour if I'm not drinking them. So I'm getting to bed a little bit earlier. Is that connected? I can't say for sure. It could just be related to like how much stress you're feeling that day, but it seems to be that, and less calories the better, I guess.
Bobcat said, with a $4.20 donation. Happy Doge Day. Yeah, are the legacy verification checks taken down yet?
That was supposed to be today.
Oh, I haven't checked. Shane H. Wilder said Convo was on the protests on the abortion pill.
Oh.
Yeah, it's either no uterus, no opinion, or you're religious, so no opinion.
Didn't he end up voting in favor of Planned Parenthood like right after he got
Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah, like right after he got nominated.
It's been too long for me to remember, but some judges strategically don't vote on certain things at all. Baron of Grey Matter said, use chrysanthemum, catnip, thyme, lavender to deter bugs.
Okay. I should write that down.
Write that down. Gabby Hayes said, Ian was on one last night, but his energy and message are super important to Timcast. Much love to you all.
One thing that I love about Ian is he's so unabashedly who he is.
Yes.
Like, he doesn't have the same, who I am on this show is me, but it still feels like in a lot of ways it's filtered through a certain level of anxiety to do the show, to want to come off the right way, to be understood the way I want to be understood. And I feel like Ian projects his message, who he is, in a way that's so unbelievably pure that it doesn't, I would love to be able to be that open. It's not that I'm not being honest. It's literally not about honesty. It's about conveying a message in a way that's true to who you are. And for me, a lot of it seems to get lost or filtered through this notion of I'm also doing a job. I'm also trying to do multiple things at once, and it gets lost sometimes.
I love that about Ian, that he is just very loose.
Yeah.
Biddy Beasley said, there's no way someone is going to finish Hyde's show. It's going to be hardcore humiliation. Well, it's yet to be seen. We've only gotten 2 days in.
It's kind of like that. Have you seen that meme? It says women competing in sports in 2023, and it's that video of the female MMA fighter. Her face is just destroyed because it's because guys are now all becoming female athletes.
I'm not sure how I feel about women being in contact violent sports anyway. At all. I don't know. It just seems like only a backward society would promote that.
You'd have to ask Gina Carano if we were ever able to get her on here.
Nothing personal against her doing it, but I think on the whole, the trend says something, I don't know, that we should interrogate about society.
It's really funny. Speaking of Gina Carano, I remember I posted a clip of her from the movie Haywire, where she's gets in a fight with this male character, right? And they're fighting, and I'm posting it, and I was just I love the scene, right? And it's not 110% real. It's not really real at all. The dude's way bigger than her in real life. Wouldn't have gone down like that. But then all the comments were no way, wouldn't happen. I'm dude, you guys are literally no fun. I get it. It's not realistic. I'm not saying it's realistic, but it's as close as you're going to get to realism with actors in Hollywood. She is as close to as that type of person who you could believably see in that role. Why don't you go and have some fun? Surgically disconnect your sense of moral superiority and insert a little bit of happiness and joy into your life and laugh and enjoy things once in a while. It's okay. You don't have to be serious all the time.
Disco Jensen said this super chat is for the Bubble Machine Fund.
We could do with the Bubble Machine Fund. We could more do with the fog machine, but I think the fog machine would be bad up here because we already have a fog machine.
Well, if we keep the AC on up here,
blow it down,
and then we keep the door open, then we'd be fine, right?
Yeah, but it would be. It would still be. Your
the fog sinks.
Your breath. It would still be hard, and you're coughing already. It would be even worse.
Yeah, I'll be okay by Monday, I think. Shane H. Wilder said, Stanford prison experiment meets Milgram experiment meets first half of the Robbers Cave experiment. I don't even know those other two. Hey, my minor in psychology actually came of use.
I only remember Stanford prison and Milgram. The other ones don't ring a bell to me.
Garrett Lancaster said, Will Sasso has a podcast called Dudesy that's run by an AI, and the AI made an hour comedy special featuring Tom Brady, and Tom Brady sued them to have the special taken down.
Wow.
What?
We should look into that. Maybe we could talk about that tomorrow.
Was this recent? I've never heard about this happening.
That's crazy.
The Last of My Kind said, my advice for attracting a trad wife, make yourself the type of man that a trad woman dreams of. Takes a lot of work, but trust when I say it works.
Yeah.
Well, if it worked for you, then give us your...
He's like, cut a lot of wood.
Success story. We'd love to hear.
Jim, cut lots of wood, have kids early, get married.
I mean, you just cut lots of wood and then you don't need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
So that's killing two birds with one stone.
Yep.
Sketch Therapy said, PCC Ian is acting insider. IRL Ian is a contrarian.
Woo! Thank you. Yes, he is. Like, on here, he's got insight and knowledge into the acting profession, whereas on IRL, he's different. But that's actually one of the reasons why he's so important on IRL anyways. Like, when I'm on IRL, half the time, I'm just kind of saying what everybody else is either thinking or saying. I'm not actually adding anything new to the conversation, like whenever I'm on. Ian adds a different dynamic and a different dimension to the conversation.
It's just a dimension I don't comprehend.
So yes, I'm just not capable of, my brain hasn't made it, like I haven't evolved to that level
I
yet.
mean, I feel like because he, I'm just gonna leave that conversation alone.
We love Ian here.
Yes. Captain Caveman, I'm not going to read that.
There you go. You said it.
Betty Beasley said, on Ian, atheists trying to scientifically describe God is such an L. Science kills spirit. Love Ian, though. S tier PCC guest. Yes, he's great. I wanted to respond to that, but I wanted to also give Michael Knowles the right to, as the guest, have that discussion with him. But Ian was like coming at the issue of miracles as if like with the faith assumption that things that happen outside of the natural laws can't happen. Like that suspensions of natural law in supernatural events are already an impossibility, when it's like the whole argument is that miracles are that. So you're just saying no. You're not really evaluating the evidence for them. And to say that there's no evidence for them is insane, because the Catholic Church has a whole process for which they investigate miracles.
Yeah.
And they need very specific criteria to even accept them as valid. And even after they accept them as you're allowed to believe that this happened, you're never required to believe that it happened after the fact. So he just needs to talk to Seamus again.
They did there's a really funny episode of the show Leverage where they try to fake a miracle to save this church from being shut down. And the pastor is the pastor's a friend of the guy who's trying to do it. And he's just disgusted by them doing this. Cause he's like, you're leading people on. This is freaking awful. And it's just that episode cause it's at St. Nicholas Church. And so the one Parker keeps calling him, I didn't know Santa Claus had a church. They're like, it's not Santa Claus.
Well, it is in a way.
It's amazing.
Shane H. Wilder said, watch out with the trad bashing. You might get blocked by Taylor Marshall. Then again, half the church is blocked by him. So that's not so bad. LOL.
Who's Taylor Marshall?
He is a YouTube personality who's Catholic, and he's got pretty traditional views. I guess he blocks a lot of people. I haven't been blocked by Taylor Marshall yet.
Thank you.
Thanks, Taylor Marshall.
Appreciate that.
Unusable Alpaca said, if you want to get Gina Carano on the show, try getting in contact with Drunk 3PO. He's a Star Wars YouTuber that formed a friendly relationship with her after Disney kicked her off the show.
Yep, I saw that. Right, I've watched. I think I followed both of them. I mean, I know I followed Gina. At one point, I followed Drunk 3PO on Instagram. I don't know if I follow him on Twitter. I don't follow as many people on Twitter, but yes, she would be great on here. I mean, she's also like she's big enough that she should be an IRL guest. Like,
I don't know. She hasn't been yet.
But she would be great on.
Let's just get her
too.
on here only.
That'd be
and
such a
not
flex.
IRL.
That'd be such a flex.
I'd be like, oh, you guys wanted to have her on IRL.
Sorry, too bad.
Oops.
Like we're gonna actually go.
She's all booked.
Yeah, we're not gonna let you.
Booked and busy. Sorry about that.
Sorry, guys.
Sketch Therapy said, I know he stops the echo chamber. Still enraging. Don't find it enraging. Find it engaging.
Why enrage when you can engage?
With the ideas. That's what it's all about. Diversity of thought, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today. This has been fun. These two-person shows are so chill, are they not, Mary?
They are.
They are. It's a vibe. You're gonna hopefully your cough will feel better tomorrow.
Hopefully, maybe not.
Get some sleep early tonight. Get some throat lozenges. Get early to bed, early to rise. That way you feel better.
Yeah, I had a burger earlier, so that should really vitalize me.
All right. Before we go, guys, could you hit the like button on this video? Could you subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Turn the notification bell on so that you will know anytime we start an episode of Pop Culture Crisis or that a new video goes up. Mary, let everyone know where they can find you.
Yes, you can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, and you can also send me hate on Twitter. That is Mary Archived.
I don't want hate on any platform, guys. Nothing but love from me. I want the echo chamber.
Honestly,
I want the echo chamber.
I don't get much hate on Twitter. I get a lot of craziness, like actual schizophrenia.
You got a super chat.
It is what it is. Last of My Kind said step 1 is absolutely learning to run in
an axe.
What is that?
An axe.
An axe?
Yeah. And then 2 more there.
Goofer Trooper. So Brett, you'll never be mad or disappointed?
Yes.
Or disappointed? Are you?
I'm in the context of what?
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I'm not mad and I'm not disappointed. And then there's one more there.
Captain Caveman said Ian is my only friend on MySpace.
Dude, that's so he's not on your top 8.
I love that.
You have him on the top 8. You're too young to remember the top 8.
I never. Yeah, I was too young for MySpace.
Guys, if you'd like to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Brett Dasovic on both. Remember, on Twitter there, you can hashtag PCCPets, tag me in there. We will feature you on Cute of the Day here. This show is Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you'd like to listen to this podcast rather than watch, we're on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we are on Twitter at PopCulture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We will be back with an episode with a very special guest tomorrow, guys. I'm very excited. We'll see you then. Later.
Bye.